For some reason, it's not starting. Oh my God. Please don't do this to me now. It's just spinning. Oh, it's not going on. Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Off the Record with DTT.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Record with DTT. My name is Eric Carroll, and for the last time, host of Dad Talk Today. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Sorry, it was a little bit after the mark that I originally said. I was talking to the birthday boy. I've got him waiting in the background. I got somebody very special that will be joining me here in a second, but got a little stuff that I want to do with you guys first. Especially the ones that have been there from the beginning. This is a show. It's harder to do than I thought it was going to be. It's probably been about 4 years too late. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I really believed in that father's right stuff, and I still do. 7 years ago, guys, I had just, like a couple of months before that, asked my wife to marry me. I found someone. Never thought I'd get married again. Didn't think I was going to go down that road again. But I found someone that I knew. You found it, and I'm not losing this. Please, will you marry me? I want you for the rest of my life, and I wish I would have found you so much sooner. And she said yes, and we had already planned it. We was going to get married in December 2019. I'd been with a job 7 years, and those people were like family to me. I still talk to them. My boss from that job was actually on my podcast, and I've had him on another podcast before. We were all so close. And the only reason I ever left it was being a single dad, full custody of 2 girls. It wasn't easy. It was not easy, but there was another child I was wanting to be able to spend time with, and the only way I was going to be able to do it was to afford the $10,000 on retainer that the 3 attorneys I paid $400 an hour with to consult. The only way I was going to be able to do it was get that $10,000 on retainer, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I didn't want to leave that job, but there was another one that did something very similar. Back then, I was a route driver. And about the only thing I could get back then to make more money than just with no skills was a CDL. But being dad, I couldn't go on the road. I needed a route. And so Nestle, pretty big company. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. They hired me, told me management and all these things. I'd be able to move up. And I'm like, maybe this would give me the resources I need to be the dad that I'm wanting to be, right? I was there 1 month, and they told us, don't come in today. We got a meeting. Everybody call in. It's a call-in meeting that we need everybody to stay at home. There's guys that have been there for years like, this has never happened. It didn't look good, right? It's like, they're shutting it down. They're shutting it down. I was like, no, guys, they wouldn't have done that. I just got on a month ago. Sure enough, they let us know, shutting the company down. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Every time I felt like I was finally getting ahead, something happened. And the job I had just left, they weren't in such a good shape. They're no longer in business. They went out of business not long after that. Now this one is, but they said if you'll stay on at the end of the year, we'll give you a bonus, and it'll be based off of how much work and the hours that you do, and how hard you work up until you leave. And so there was incentive there. I got a job until the end of this year. They was going to pay us an extra 2 months, but by February of 2020 was it. So I got close to a year. I got to get this ready, man. And I just got back to working normally again, because in 2018 is when I had ACL reconstruction. It took me 9 months to be able to just even walk normal again. And now here we go, another obstacle. But I knew then I would have loved to have went back to my other job. They had already replaced me. When you got routes, if anybody's ever been in that business, if you call out, they don't have anybody that can take your place. They have to get someone immediately. But that company had just went bankrupt, gone. Now Nestle's going out. The job I had prior to that, which was with the same company, Mayfield Ice Cream. I was a milkman for a couple of years before that. You talking about bust ass work, man. But all of them, that industry is pretty much gone. So I was like, hey, you got to find something else to do. I'm not going over the road. I'm not leaving my babies. And I didn't have no idea. You know, I told my wife, still fiance at the time. She never freaked out. She's like, what do you want to do, babe? I'm like, I don't know. I came here thinking this was what I was going to do. And so she was like, well, what do you want to do? Still didn't know, but I was like, I do got this one idea. You know, all those years being around, man, I was in the truck a lot, and I listened to podcasts. I love podcasts. I had an idea, but I knew nothing about it. And I was even scared to say it to her, you know, like, oh, you're losing your job. What do you want to do? I want to do a podcast. But I remember telling her, and she was like, okay, what's it going to be about? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a boring dad. I work, come home, and that's it. And that's when I found it, guys. Dad talk from the very beginning. That's it. I'm not just a boring dad. That was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. My life was a wreck before I became a dad. You know, I spent many years talking about, and I still believe this, and I'll still say it. Children need their fathers. But there was another part of that I didn't say as much, and I wish I would have. I'm going to say it now. I got one more opportunity. Dads need their children. Of course they do. But I'm talking about from another angle. My life was a wreck. You know, I became a single dad. It was around 19 or 20. Young. 1-year-old daughter. That's when I went through my first divorce. And I had no idea what I was doing, guys. I had no idea. The wife I was with at that time, she wanted to have, children. She said she wanted to do it early. I thought I was fulfilling her wishes. And we did. But it never really dawned on me the responsibility that came with that and whether I was ready or not. And now I'm in this situation, and I became full-time, full custody on that with this 1-year-old daughter. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know how to do this. It was daunting. But now I got something in this earth that I love more than myself, and I got to step up to the plate. And I think I did it pretty well, guys. I made my mistakes. I'm an imperfect person. We all are. Anybody that tries to say anything different, we didn't get a manual with this thing. It was hard, but I adjusted, and there was something about it. I wish I could say right away. My third daughter is when it really kicked, but there was something that started the second that my first daughter was brought into this world that started turning me from a boy into a man. And I know there's many dads out there that maybe did not get that opportunity because of family courts or money. And there's that process. There's that thing that it does to us that so many of them are missing. And that just breaks my heart. Because I believe women, they were born with that instinct, wanting to be a mom. They want to be a mom from a very early age and play with the dolls and play house and stuff. Us men, some of you maybe, but there's something about it. Once that child is brought here, that it made me who I am today. And so there was nothing more that I would rather talk about than being a dad. But it wasn't all about the glitter and the rainbows. When I went through the things that I went through, and I've talked about this before, and it'll be one of my last times on that issue, but the one that really stuck out was that second divorce I had. Not long before that, just got a new home, had busted my ass getting that home because my daughters deserved it, you know, and our old home was not in the greatest condition. And I remember the only thing I had to worry about every day was coming home and what was going to be for supper. I did all the cooking. And remember walking around the house and toys all around and them playing sometimes like really loud. And you're like, come on, calm down, simmer down. But after that divorce, that first day, man, or that first weekend that I woke up, I'm used to having a spouse beside me in the bed. There's nobody there. I'm used to those toys in the floor, smell of bacon in the morning or something when we would do breakfast. It was clean. I had a home. It was clean, spotless, no toys, no noise. Oh man, it was one of the worst moments of my life, guys. It was really the loneliest and most, it's hard to put into words. I would have loved to have had that little mess and that noise. I didn't want to breathe anymore. That's about the way I'm going to have to put it because there's certain things I can't say. I didn't want to breathe anymore. And the only thing that wouldn't allow me to really embrace that to the fullest like I wanted to, like my mind and everything wanted to at the time, was the fact that at the end of that weekend, that Sunday night, there was 2 children that was going to come there. There was another one. And they were going to depend on me. They depend on this guy that's just broken right now, to be their dad. So I had to pull my pants up and find a reason to step out of that bed. They were that reason. And that next week is going to be their first week going to school without one of their parents, and it's going to be a hard transition for them. So as bad as it sucks for me, and it's okay. I mean, we all go through things like this at times. Not everybody ends up divorced, but you know what I mean. I'm going to have those moments in private where they can't see it. And I got to step up to the plate. And I did. And it was still, you know, that process. It was one of the hardest processes I ever had. And being that guy that most of the day is at work and stuff, I went looking for stuff. Is there anything out there? Is there anyone else that knows how bad this sucks? Or like, I'd love to hear somebody say they got through this or how they got through it. No, nothing. As a dad, not only no resources, but we didn't have a place to just come and amongst other guys and say, hey, has anybody else felt this? That's what I want to create. Not just that. There's certain things as you know, us guys get into. I've never been the football guy. Some are. I like the MMA and other things. Let's just make a place, all things dad. And that's it. Started, I think, around February, March. And when I told my wife about it, she's like, okay, I believe in you. Like, you're not going to pick me apart or anything? No. She was on. Go do it. Go do it. Just promise me you're going to give it your all. I'd never had that either. That was another, like, I've been married to this woman. It'll be going on 7 years this December. And every day I wake up, I fall more in love with her. I'm not kidding. I fall more in love with her. And I'm still finding out features like on the new car that I didn't know I had. Like, whoa, how can you be this supportive? And I appreciate it so much. And that's another reason that I'm going where I'm going with this tonight. I'm not going away. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed this. There was times I tried to speak up, guys, and say stuff and let the community know. And social media can be a very, very cruel place. They think they know what's going on in your life or your reasons or your motives. And it's so easy for somebody that sits on the other side of that screen that has no idea what it's like to put in the effort behind this. The one thing I found out very soon making a podcast that I hate the most is people think because you're a content creator that it's as simple as just hit and record, stop, and put it on. This is one of the hardest jobs I've ever done in my life. If you want to do it and you want to do it right. And sometimes you can put in a lot of effort and there's no return. I think this statistic might have changed now, but I mean, imagine it might be even worse. Like 99% of podcasters quit before their 6th episode, or before they reach the 6-month mark, because they think it's going to do something and they find out how hard it is. Well, now it's even worse because you got AI and many other things. It's made it so much easier. Doesn't seem like that long ago. 2019, in terms of technology and podcasting and how you put it on, guys, it was a long time ago. And before ChatGPT, you had to learn how to make your own thumbnails, your graphics, your own memes. You had to book guests, promote the social media, like the whole 9 yards. And in the beginning, I could handle it. Not only could I do that, the part that I love the most is knowing that I can use some of these situations that sucked, that I thought I was never going to get out of. When I say no longer wanting to breathe, guys, you have no idea how dark that place was and what it took for me to hold on. There's many dads out there that knows that spot that I'm talking about. And you know what? I'm sure the same thing with moms. We're different in ways. In many ways, we're the same, but we react to things different. And being able to say that is not easy. It's very personal stuff. But I did it because I wanted to turn that pain into purpose. And we didn't even have Zoom back then yet. I didn't know anything about cameras, microphones. I had to teach it all. And when I started it, it's Facebook. Like I said, I think even March or April. My timeline's off on a lot of this stuff. It happened so quick. And for the longest, it was just me posting memes about like Ninja Turtles, or at that time, it was who had the better chicken sandwich, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. I don't know why the algorithm loved that at that point in time. And that's how I started learning about certain things do better than others. And okay, this is how this works. And I had a blog. And so I just go on and my daily life as a single dad, what it's like with dating or struggles or depression. Depression, the thing us men, we have to not share so much because we think it's a weakness. And I can tell you something. I've heard so much about toxic masculinity, so much. And they talk about how men are too afraid to express their feelings or their emotions. And that's just not true. No one would want to express that more than a lot of these men. But the reason they don't is because what you see is a man that sometime shared those emotions with somebody, and it got used as a weapon against him by someone he was trying to connect with and be vulnerable with. And it, man, when they talk about domestic violence and they say, man, a woman's not as strong as a man. She can't hurt him, you know, because she's not as strong. Bullshit. They don't always use their fist. But aside from that, I've been on both of those ends. I've been physically abused by a female, but nothing hurt me worse than words. Those private moments. This was something I was trusting you with because I wanted you to know who I was, what made me who I am. And I'm trying to build connection and communication with you. And then in a little silly petty argument, it's bounced right off of me and it stabbed worse than any knife. And you know what happens to men when that goes down? I ain't doing that shit again. Nope. I ain't doing that again. Mask, got this armor. And what you perceive as this man, this big tough man that's with his toxic masculinity that doesn't want to share his emotions. That's self-preservation, guys. But I think it was 5 or 6 months that I put in, just putting the memes and stuff on the page, and didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about yet, but I said from the beginning, podcast is coming. I got to find out how to do a damn podcast first. Then I got to get the courage to get on there because I have a very low self-confidence and I don't know if I can do this. I got that thick Georgia accent, you know. That first time I did it, man, my hands were so sweaty. Oh my God. Anxiety, panic attack. But we did it. I did it. And shocking, inbox started going crazy. 10,000 followers by the time we did our first podcast. I thought that my story was going to be one that very few people could relate to, guys. But I figured there were some out there, and I would have been happy just to know it was affecting one person. Inbox started blowing up. And guys telling me their stories and divorce and how bad it was. If I could have showed you the amount of messages that came in back then and people that said, watching that show last night is what kept me from taking my own life. I'm not lying. That wasn't out of every so often. It was numerous. And that's when I started realizing how big that thing was. But I wanted to talk about other things. I've got passions. There's things that make me happy too. I've got some shitty moments. I'll get on there and I'll share it, even though it's personal details of mine. If it could help someone, biggest thing is when you're going through those moments, we all get up in our head and think to ourselves, oh man, I'm never going to find happiness again. It's over. I'll never find someone I love. I'm never going to be able to move on. And that's just the biggest lie. There was something about that. Did that make you happy? What is it you think you're not going to find again? I hope you don't find moments like that again because they suck, dude. They suck. You're sitting there telling yourself that your life is over and you don't realize that could be one of the best things that ever happened to you. And just finding those guys that feel like they got nowhere to go and letting them know, dude, come on. You're not the only one. I hear you. You got somewhere. It's good. And it's okay. Let them vent. Let them feel like they've got somewhere that they belong. We couldn't even do that. Talking about that, we had to be hating females. I cannot believe anybody would ever think that. It's like, do you know my story? I love females. The problem was I didn't know how to choose them. And a lot of that was me, my own thing. I love females. No, I'm saying there's something very specific. But it was just a way of canceling. They knew that. I've got some more stuff I want to talk about, but I think there is somebody very, very special that I love very much, guys. But anybody that has watched from the beginning, thank you so much. And there's more than I can ever just point out, but I've noticed you. This wasn't just people that watched. I've gotten some very, very close friendships that I never would have had without doing Dad Talk. And I want to really explain to you. Give me a second there, Brian. I don't want to keep you hanging. If I don't get this out, I'm going to kick myself in the ass afterwards. I loved it in the beginning when it was just getting on this microphone and talking to you guys, the dads. And I loved it when the moms showed up too. You'd be surprised just how many of it was moms and grandmas, grandmothers that had sons that were going through it or being kept away from their kids, or new wives that had a husband that was going through it. They wanted to hear this. They got involved. And it was more 50-50 than you can imagine. There was a lot that watched, again, from the beginning that you just never saw them in the comments. And they were my biggest supporters. I got to be honest with you. I never went nonprofit. I went to, but once I found out, like if there was a politician or something that said, hey, I want to help you. Let's get some equality laws in there. And let's look at this legislation, and I'm going to do this. There was actually a politician that actually wanted to do the right thing. Boy, man, did I have some big pipe dream. There's some good ones out there, but you need the majority. I'll get on that later. But I wanted to be able to say, go vote for that guy. If they was willing to stand up for me and they was willing to stand up for you guys, because there wasn't many that would, go vote for that guy. Nonprofit can't do that. You have to stay out of it. You got to stay neutral, or like you don't pick any sides. You can talk about politics. Well, what's the advantage of doing that? Well, you can get grant money. Back then, 2019, people could do birthday fundraisers where they could say, hey, I'm raising for this charity for my birthday. I'm sure many of you remember that. It would have helped. I wanted that ability to fight for the ones that fight for us. So, yeah, and I don't regret it, but it made getting resources even harder. But it was also one of the things that made us who we are and what we was able to do. I'll never be able to get to all of the cases. And one day I'm going to have to do a retrospective. I really am. It's one thing for me to tell you, but if I can go in that phone, there are so many interviews I never got all the way to post. I never had the time to edit it down or post, or we had so much going on. It just got there. And to be quite honest with you, I forgot. I want people to see 43 states in 2022, 43. Guys, when I say Baltimore, 8-10 times, if not more. Texas, I can't even count. A lot of those states we went to multiple times. It would not have happened without COVID. Me losing my job and COVID was what created Dad Talk Today. Had those two things not coincided the way they did, it would have never happened. I would still be in that truck driving for somebody, whoever was the last one standing, that could give me a job at that point, thinking, could I do this? But because of that, 43 states. And then all the events, that was not in that original vision. Working on custody exchange murders and the stuff was never in that original vision. What happened last year, I would have never envisioned taking a break or working on something else. This was my baby. You got to understand, this was my baby. I loved it. I loved it. You can ask my wife or anybody, my kids. I went to sleep working on this. I would wake up in the middle of the night to pee and get on there and start working on it and have to fight to get, to put it back down. And as soon as I woke up, I loved it. And around September, October, when I did that first episode, and I finally got over those nerves, and for those, I think it was only 3 or 4 months, I got to just talk to the dads. It was one of the most amazing things. But then when I was told, you've got to change this in order to get this real change for dads, it's all good to talk about it and say how much you like them. But if you really want to help them, you got to get the laws changed. Okay, how do you do that? Politics. Didn't know nothing about it, didn't want to know nothing about it. Even as a preacher's son, 2 times or two events that got me in a suit and tie. Weddings and funerals. And if you have weddings similar to what I had before in marriages, they're kind of one and the same. That was a joke. Be careful, or it could feel like a funeral. But I don't do that. T-shirt, tank top, athletic shorts. This is me. But if you care for dads, that's what you do. And I've talked about it before in the past. I went. I didn't even go searching for that. They came to me, wanting me in the media. There was a lot of people that got hope with that. This community had never gotten that type of access. I said I never wanted to be in the ministry because that's what my dad did. Both my granddads. One of the things that got me the most, guys, is especially with my dad being such a small church, always struggling with the bills. And I was always, Eric, come up here and get the offering. I had to go around with the offering plate. And then I saw what they had to put up with. I am not going to be in the ministry. I'm going to be different. This was a ministry. And then that's basically what I had to do, not being a nonprofit or not being one of those issues that has a lot of funding. I passed around the virtual offering plate. Okay, you want me to go to DC, or you want me to go to Missouri or New York or wherever it is? Okay, help me get there, I'll go. And there was people that found hope on it. You're doing a movement. That was a lot of weight to carry, guys. A lot of fucking weight. I cannot, sorry for the language. I've been holding this in for a long time. I carried that torch as long as I could. And then after last year, I'm done. I've done my time. I've done my time. All right, let me get this. John Mast would be here with me tonight. There's 2 people. I cannot get to all the cases and things that we worked on here. There was a lot. That this little internet podcast that was just an idea of mine one day, 2019, I had no idea it would touch the lives that it did. And I had no idea it would grow to the community that it did, over 1 million. Early on, when it was small enough I could manage it and I could talk to everybody, it was amazing. Once it got over 1 million and it kept going, I couldn't keep up with it. No one person could. And then politics and people wanting you to go everywhere, it just got out of control, guys. 2 people, 2 cases that have forever changed me, that I will keep with me for the rest of my life. And every case, the good and the bad, I embrace it. I don't have no regrets. There was some stuff, especially in the last year and 2, sucked. Nobody would want to go through it. I made it. If I can make it through that, I can make it through anything. But those 2 cases would be John Mast and then the person I'm about to bring on. I didn't know when John came on my show that day that would be what happened. Had Dad talked today, not been going, we never would have had John's side of the story. His last words were sitting on here and doing what I'm doing right now and what Brian will be doing with me in a second. When I found out about him being murdered when he went to go pick up his kids that day, I was able to contact the family back and say, listen, I know because in that interview and afterwards when we talked, he's got journals, letters he wrote to his kids. Go find them. Make sure they've got those. And here's all this other stuff. And what was just a little internet podcast, something I'm trying to find out, where do I go next? For the next 5 years, became the platform that not only made sure his story was told, but we followed it to the end. We made history with that case. We were the first people to put cameras up in North Idaho in that courthouse. And we didn't just do it for one case. We did it for every single one of them, live streamed it and brought it straight to you guys. And that was a rocky ride, man. For the first one, sat there and watched somebody that literally in the back of a cop car said, I premeditated it, get away with manslaughter. Had Dad talked today been going, guys, I don't think John's story would have made it past that day's news cycle. The next day it had been something else and just another dad died. Father-in-law did it because he was considered a pedo. I wasn't about to let that go down. 5 years, but last year, once the full story got out, there was people that flew out from North Dakota and all over the country to speak for John. We had told the truth. John told the truth. His family fought, guilty on all counts, him and her. 7.2, I think, 17 or 7.2 or $7.4 million verdict. They went and appealed it. Guess what happened? Doubled. Like 14.8 million, almost 15 now. But you can't get water from a rock. And it was never about the money in the first place. I doubt they'll ever see a penny of it. John was vindicated. And that was one of those stories. He died trying to get to his kids. And I was the place he chose. And I gave it everything I got. Your family did too. I wish you could be here with me in person. I'm still standing with you. I don't know if we ever have to go do anything with that. Again, 2 documentaries. I still stand with John. I just wish I could have met you in real life, in person, other than just like this. Because I truly believe I would have had one of the best friends you could ever ask for. Somebody I could have leaned on. He was writing me and telling me to take care of myself and stuff before this happened. Nobody else was doing that. You could just tell he was a genuine soul. So, and to those kids, I usually do this on Christmas or Father's Day, Thanksgiving, because he's not here to do it. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be. But listen to me. If y'all see this, I want you to know something. That man loved you with every single bit of his heart. He's where he is now because he didn't give up. And I hope one day you got another side of the family that truly loves you. You have no idea. I feel like they're my family. Some of the best people I've ever met on the face of this earth. And I know they've got so much love they would love to give you. And I hope more than anything, I don't know what happens in the next life, guys, but nothing will thrill me more. When it happens, I get to see John face to face, finally in person, and say, here I am, bud. I'm still standing with you. It's Eric. Nice to meet you. Thank you for giving me purpose beyond anything I ever knew. This next one, it's much. Those two, man, they changed my life. But you're about to meet one of my heroes. People have heard me talk about him over the years, but you didn't get to see him much on the screen. We stayed in contact that whole time. This is my buddy, but he's a little kid. He's a grown man now, and today's his birthday. So I want to make sure you say hey to him. All right, and you don't do interviews. So let me quit procrastinating and bring on somebody that I love so much. And Mr. Brian, what's up, buddy?
Not too much. I do apologize for the noise. I didn't expect a bunch of people coming to the clubhouse tonight, but
It's okay, man. I'm pulling up the graphic for one last time. What'd you think of the new stuff?
oh, I like it.
Yeah,
Got a nice touch to it for sure.
it's different.
Oh yeah,
It's
I like
different.
the interactive segments of it.
I've got a lot of plans for it, and that's I still care about the father's rights and want to talk about it, but there's other things I want to do. You know, it's I'm glad that I was able to work on the stories such as John and everything that I was saying, but those are heavy, man. You needs to be some sunshine every once in a while.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate story.
Yeah, but I want to revisit a story that I haven't talked about in a while. It's first off, happy birthday, my man.
Thank you. Thank
How
you.
does it feel to be 23?
Sucks.
Sucks.
I
What?
mean,
Oh,
I'd
dude,
like to see
so
another
much
day,
better than
but
the alternative.
can definitely feel the back pain, and being an adult sucks in general.
Oh, dude, 30s, then 40s. You can't tell that to one of the older crowd. They're like, "Well, wait until your 50s and 60s." It's like, oh, no, no, no. I'll take your word for it. We're all headed there. I
I
want to
got
think
the back pain of a 50-year-old now.
41. I thought it would happen at 40. Something about this particular year, I can just turn the wrong way in bed or for no reason. Like, what is that? You know. But what all pain do you deal with on a day-to-day basis now, Brian?
Just back and occasional nerve pain. Um, it's really it for the most part.
Do
The
you?
back definitely sucks because it's been a problem since I was 13. Had a football injury.
Oh, you'd had a football injury. Which one
Yeah,
was it?
what'd you say?
What did you injure?
My back. I
Oh,
got hit in the back with the helmet,
oh,
like right below the shoulder pads. I didn't have a back plate on, so
yeah. Well, I want to be honest with the audience and everything. This is a very special moment because I don't think we ever went through your whole story after that first time.
no. And even then, I don't think we really talked much in depth about the before and whatnot.
No, and so just so the audience knows when we do this will be the most detailed it's ever been with Brian's story because you remember like when you guys originally first got in contact with me, was that your idea? Was that your dad's?
I believe it was my dad's.
Well,
Um,
okay. He was
he
following
was,
the page.
yeah, he was watching the page for a while. He mentioned he was gonna reach out. Um, I was just like, okay, kind of. I mean,
Yeah, and you going along with what he says.
yeah, I didn't really have hope when he mentioned like the number of followers you had at the time. I was just like, yeah, right.
Well, it was over 10,000, Brian.
Yeah,
No, and I'll be honest with you. I thought your dad was a scammer. I thought it was a scam email when I saw the story. The story I used to get these emails like this person would say, "Hey, I'm so and so from overseas. Um, I've got this family member battling leukemia or some type of cancer, some story. I need 150 or $200,000 or something like this for this, this, and this." And they'd send it, you'd read it and be like, "What in the world?" I mean, emotional story, but I found out very early on this is how people do that. And when I started reading Rob's email, my son was hotel fire, burned, needs $150,000, lose his voice, could lose his life. And if we don't do something, um, here's the consequences. Insurance wouldn't pay for it. There was so much about that story that blew my mind. First thing is, because of what you've been through, I couldn't believe no mainstream media would help with this. This was something you would think that's what the news is supposed to do, right? Instead, it's just politics. It's what they seem to do now.
Yeah, they'd run stories for, like, I guess, updates occasionally around like the 1 year mark, 2 year, 3 year, but that's what got them views at the time. Um,
Yeah,
Not many people wanted to take that battle on.
because it had been 4 years at this point. You were
Yeah,
16 when
it's
your
kind of
dad.
just like old news at that point, so no one wanted to take that risk of taking on these insurance companies because, like you said, it's kind of an unbelievable story that they'd even deny it in the first place.
Well, that was hearing the situation that you was in, the amount of money, and that the insurance company would just deny you. I'm sorry, it was real, but if you'd have saw it, it just didn't seem. And so I did the only thing I knew to do, because it's like, if there's a chance, this, I will do everything I can. I don't know how I'm going to come up with $150,000. I just lost my job and I'm trying to, make this. But I was like, will you do me a favor? It's like, will you meet me with your son on video? And Brian, I'm going to talk about this in a way. We do this anyway now, but I'm going to talk about this in a way that I tried to be really careful with details when you were younger, because I didn't want to hurt you, man. I mean, it's a very personal story, but I wanted to make sure what he was telling me was real. I wanted to see it. And so we met on the video that day, and that's how you came in.
Yeah,
Brian always had a hoodie in his mouth, and I always just figured you didn't want anybody to see your lip. Or was I wrong on that?
yeah, it was definitely the lips. They were pretty bad back in the day.
Now, was it like that from the very beginning?
So yeah, they were pretty bad from like the time I woke up. Um, Obviously, I've had probably 15 corrective surgeries on it.
How many?
I'd say at least 15 between the top and bottom because they do them separately because they want me to be able to use my mouth still. But it's like I just
Well,
had another one last August, so it's still an ongoing thing. But
we got some pictures to give you a little bit more of a detail on what's going on. But I just remember seeing you for that first time and talking with you, and you could tell self-conscious about with the hoodie, and you telling me your story and asking me to help.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was definitely a time you wouldn't catch me no matter how hot it was without hoodie and sweatpants on, with the hood on, tied closed.
You know, and you also had a trachea back then.
Yep.
How long you had that trachea since the beginning?
Yeah, so how that ended up working out is towards the end of my stay at the Shriners in Boston, they did a corrective procedure. I was working on a transfer back to University of Michigan,
Yeah.
and pretty much they did the corrective procedure, but they left the trach in just for transport purposes, so they could get the medical flight back to Michigan. With it being so new of a surgery, they didn't want to risk taking it out, putting me on a plane, and the pressure causing a collapse on the freshly worked on airway. So how it was supposed to work out is I was supposed to get the U of M, and they were supposed to pull it as soon as they got there and put a patch over. That didn't end up happening. They didn't even take like my stack of files off my dresser of medical records for almost a week. They were so set on discharging me that night that they didn't bother to offer me like the humidity mask I need if I were to keep the trach in. You're supposed to have humidity in because that's what your nose does, is it humidifies the air before the gets to your lungs.
Yeah, it was about. Yeah, I got you, bud. You got some visitors.
Yeah. I'm in a podcast. I'm on live, sorry.
Yeah. So you said it was a humidity mask. Is that like kind of like a CPAP mask?
So yeah, kinda. It's just like a uh, warm humidifier mask, and it sits over the trachea. So
Got you.
it keeps everything loose, and without it, everything dries up, and you sit there and cough up a storm. And after a fresh airway surgery, that is not what you want.
For anybody that's never had to live with a trachea, what was it like?
It's a different kind of hell. You can't shower normally, can't go swimming. You gotta sit there and either cough out a bunch of mucus out of it or suction yourself. It's not a fun experience.
Well, my uncle, I've told you about him, Brian. It was just 2 years ago. He had stage 4 lung cancer, and I want to say stage 4 prostate cancer. He was going through both at the same time, but he had a trach that was put in, and he lived with it for a good while. And there at the end, he couldn't even eat. Everything was coming back up, and they told him, they was like, you know, you can live, but you're not going to be able to eat anymore. We got to give you a feeding tube. Everything else was fine, but he was like, He's like, go ahead, put me in hospice. And he's like, I'm ready to go. And it was like, you'll be okay. We just got to give you that feeding tube. Nope. He's like,
I don't blame them. I mean, it sits there in the back of your throat. You can feel like every time you're getting the feed, like you want to just puke instantly.
Oh, you've had one of the feeding tubes too?
Oh yeah, I had one for months. I'd constantly pull it out, puke it up. They'd give me the meds through it and instantly just puke everything up.
He
It
had,
got to the point like they were keeping it in because I wasn't getting like my daily calories, but I couldn't eat because I was so full from the feed. And just eating anything with it is horrible. You can feel it like in the back of your throat every time you swallow.
you weren't wanting to eat with the feed. I mean, I heard, because I'm about to say, if it was keeping you full, I don't think you could get full, Brian. I've been around you. You like to eat.
I used to.
Oh, you aren't the same. You don't have to have the candy all the time.
No.
Nah. But
Appetites changed, weights changed.
well,
I
I
was
just
probably 250, 260 last time I saw you. I
do.
was looking at those pictures you had posted earlier, and I was like, yikes.
And dude, it's crazy going back through those. You know, I try to explain it the best that I can. Sometimes words just can't really, portray it the way it is. 2019 don't seem that long ago, but it was. There's a lot that went on during that time, and I want to get back to that story though, because we want to get it. How much longer we got with your birthday? Oh, it's not your birthday anymore, but it's your birthday until this is over. Um, that day, getting to meet you for the first time, And then you had the trach and everything, and asking, did Dad Talk Today to help with the $150,000. I can admit this to you now. I had no freaking clue how we were going to do it, dude. I had no clue. All I can remember is in my head, when you asked that, I was like, yes, don't you worry. And I think it was even something like, I want you to go to sleep tonight, not worry about it 1 second. We will make it happen.
Yeah, I kind of didn't believe it was possible at that point, because how do you just pull 150,000 out of your ass? I mean,
neither did I, but I didn't let you see that. And then, and plus, just being open and honest, I had lost my job, so we hadn't made a penny, and I don't think we was close to making one. But as soon as I heard that, yes, we're gonna get it, and then when I got off with you, it's just like, how we got to get to work.
yeah, the amount of work you put into this story is just fucking amazing. Sorry for the language, but
No, man,
it is. You put your ass on the line, didn't make anything of it, didn't benefit you any, but you still went to bat.
no, I benefited from it, Brian. You gave me purpose beyond. Earlier that year, when I was trying to find out what I wanted to do, I'm just a boring dad talk, and then it started evolving. Hearing that you saw this, you and your dad, y'all saw this platform as a vehicle that could help with something so important.
So what actually had led him to you is he experienced a lot of the parental alienation you guys had talked about on your platform. From a young age, my mom had always told me the lies about the situation to create that fear.
Yep.
So I believe that's what originally led him to your platform, and this happening as a result of not being in his care. He kind of just thought it'd be a situation you might like to cover.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had talked to him a lot. I spent a lot of time on the phone with your old man, and he told me about that because I really wish you would have been with him that night instead. But I just remember thinking, okay, we're gonna do it. I had just done my first thing of that type. Right before that, there was a parental alienation center that helped parents that were alienated kind of reunite with their kids. And because another place similar to here, but they had been out for years, they weren't able to get the funding or the grants or anything like that doing dad's stuff. And so when I heard they were closing down, it was actually the very first guest that I had on Dad Talk. It was the doctor there. I didn't know him at all before this. I had to get on there. And when I told people there was nothing there, I searched and searched and searched to find out stuff. And I found this group that talked about parental alienation. And the more I read into it, I was like, okay, some of the boxes are checking off here. And, but it wasn't that widely used of a term. If I could only tell you guys how many people have said the first time I ever heard that term was on your platform. I didn't just talk about dad's rights as much as I do now. It's parental alienation. And I thought it was some unique or kind of not as seen phenomenon. No. It's a lot more. But that's what that first episode was on. So his name was Dr. Mark Roseman. He had something called the Toby Center there in Florida that they were going to have to close. And because he was my first guest and he so graciously came on and did that, and I heard that was closing and it was something I believed in, I was like, what do you need to stay open? Because it was named after his mom. He was passionate about it. He was like, "Oh, I don't know." He was like, we're behind on our bills. It probably won't happen." I was like, "Tell me, what do you need?" And so he's $10,000. I don't know if you remember this, Brian, because this was like right before you guys reached out and I did this. And then I started working on that for you. I said, I am going to help raise that $10,000 because you was my first show. You reached back out to me when no one else did. And so I did a 72-hour marathon. I'm not lying. I don't think no sleep. And I had on guest after guest for 72 hours. It was crazy. And I think at one point I was so delirious from no sleeping and everything. I got on there, was trying to play guitar and sing. And near the end of it, we had only gotten like this much of the goal. And thank God, there was like this angel that out of nowhere took it the rest of the way. We weren't going to make it. I mean, even 72 hours, I gave it everything I had, but we made it because of one person there at the end. Yeah, dude. So I knew what it took just to get 10 grand. Now we got to do 150, but we was able to keep that place open. And so I brought you on for the first time. We did that interview, but do you remember talking to me after that episode and the conversation that we had?
Slightly, yeah.
You added me on Facebook and then got my cell phone number. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people probably do a podcast. They interview the person and then don't talk to them again until, they do, if and when they do another podcast. That wasn't us. We stayed in contact all the time. Your old man too. But you told me you didn't like being on video and you didn't like doing the interviews. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You came and confided me with it. So we had a lot more that we was going to have to do because I think we was able to raise like $500 maybe on that episode. And so I came up, we had our little special thing. I told you, I'll take care of you. I would do the interview with your dad and then you would be in the background. What was your little brother's name? Damien. Y'all would be playing Call of Duty or something. Like, Brian there, you come in and be like, hey, you playing video games with your brother? Yeah. Like, what you doing this weekend? You'd say something like, all right, go back in there and play with your brother. I'd only let you come on for like 15, 20 seconds, and I told the story.
Yeah, that was definitely helpful at the time.
It made it a little bit easier for you?
Oh, 100%. Still hated every second that I was on camera.
I know you did. And I didn't even want to bring you on then, but
it helped.
Well, people had to know. If not, anytime you just got something to do with money, people are going to make accusations.
Oh,
definitely. They're not really doing this. They're exploiting it. Or anyway,
on that topic, I've heard and seen some things on social media that I don't necessarily agree with, especially with the Whitaker situation. That's not Eric. We tried helping him after we went beyond our goal, and he turned that money down. We were trying to help him get his knee paid for, knee surgery, and he flat out refused, and he was kind of outraged that we'd even offer that type of assistance to him. So to hear that he was trying to exploit me and my story is just so far from the truth. That's not Eric as a person. That's just never what he's been about. He wants to help people, it's never about what he can benefit from it, other than friendship, experiences, and trying to make a change.
You have no idea what that means to me, dude. Yeah. So
as you said in the first few minutes before I came on, internet is a horrible place. People just speak from opinions from a 30-second video when they don't know the person. They go off, they see one post and form these fucking opinions, and they just run with it and spread it everywhere, not thinking about the consequences of what they're saying could do to a person.
No, you're right. You're right. I'll be honest. It was. There's been some hard moments. That last 4 years, I've been trying to hold on, wanting that 2019 passion to come back. What we did with your story, I couldn't believe we pulled it off. But when I told you we was gonna do it, I wasn't playing. I got the ACL surgery. Talking about what Brian's saying, because what you guys did was amazing. I just, that was for you. That was, you needed that surgery, and in a couple of months before my job went out, I had insurance until that went out, but my knee started swelling up again, and I went and saw a doctor where they put my screw in. He said whoever that surgeon was put it in the wrong place. It needed to be further down. So because of that, I had developed 2 different types of bursitis, and it sucked, dude. It was one of the most painful things. And so I could have got the operation, but if I got the operation, that severance and everything was over.
Well, I just remember coming to Georgia and seeing how much pain you were in all weekend. It was just the least we could offer after all the hours you put into the story and making it happen.
And man, you guys have no idea what that means to me. But you know what? It eventually went away. And then I tore my meniscus. I got the bucket handle tear meniscus, just like Connor. And I wish I could give you like a really cool story of how it happened, but it happened walking out my back door while I was building my deck. Yeah, dude, yeah. Well, this is, me and my wife got married in 2019, right after I met you. We didn't even get to go on our honeymoon. Her grandmother died. So immediately after the wedding, we went to Kentucky to go to a funeral. And I'm so, no place I'd rather be than beside my wife or something like that. You can't plan stuff like that. So we waited until New Year's to go on our honeymoon. I went ahead and got a cortisone shot because I had to keep with that severance. Talking about that knee surgery. We went on a cruise, finally. We get time, just husband and wife went on a cruise. On the 3rd day, knee was messed up. I couldn't walk. And so I don't know if anybody's ever been on a cruise. They got an urgent care, but you think a hospital here is expensive? Huh. And I don't think they got the greatest level of care. So they had somewhere on board to get acupuncture. And that lady was just like mashing into that. I was screaming. And my wife said, "What in the hell are you doing to him?" She was like, "Oh, we got to do this. It's where scar tissue is and everything. He'll be better. He'll be better." Oh my God, dude, it was so painful, Brian. I got back to the room and I couldn't stand afterwards. I couldn't stand. I couldn't walk or anything. And we're on our honeymoon. It's only like day 3. Next morning, I wake up. There's my wife, just smiling with a wheelchair. And I'm like, "What in the hell do you think you're doing?" She's like, "Get up, come on." And I'm like, "No." And she didn't let it bother her 1 second. I got the second half of several pictures on our honeymoon. She's pushing me in a wheelchair.
So romantic.
You know what?
Hey,
Hey,
I can't say too much.
No, dude. If anything, Brian, it was. Because if you see the smile on her face, of course, me as a man, my pride was gone, dude. Like I'm the man, newlywed. I'm your protector. I'll save you, babe. Can you push me in a wheelchair so we can, or help me sit on the toilet and so I can do my business? It was. But you can even see her in the photos, smiling. She never let stuff get her down, and always so positive. Why can't we be like that, Brian? You are. You are.
Yes.
I'm talking about myself. I want to get to your story though. I can trail off for a bit, but I wanted people to know very early on. Brian let me know he didn't want to. He didn't like being on camera. I started telling the story, and it was just me and his dad, and we were trying to raise that money. But me and you were talking. When was it? Last week or something, and we talked a little bit about the story, and I realized I've been telling the story wrong, brother. I did it for good reasons. I didn't want you to have to keep reliving that.
Right.
There is something I didn't have. I think I can explain it better now. I didn't have the training and all that other stuff. It was an idea, and I just started doing it. And so, when doing an interview like that, I was afraid to ask questions because I didn't want you to, have to relive that pain or whatever. Dude, the story's the story. It's you talking about the story. You got to talk about it. But I realize now just how much got left out because of that. So I might have the story left or wrong in some places, and that's why Brian's going to be telling it anyway. So let's go back to that. It was 2017, right?
Yep. It was 5/17/17. Um, approximately 4 in the morning, give or take.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. So I was up on the phone. Um, my mom had been gone all day. I hadn't seen her from the time we got back from practice up until that point, and she had came in and she was clearly on drugs or something because she was just all over the place. And she had came into the room and instantly started grabbing her stuff to make butane hash oil. Um, and I remember arguing with her about it because she had never done it like inside the motel. I mean, it's a 16-foot by 12-foot room. It's not very big.
Not to stop you. All right, 5/17. What day of the week is it?
I want to say a Wednesday.
So you're supposed to go to school the next day, and she's doing this at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're in a hotel at 12
Yeah.
years old.
Oh, definitely. Yep, 13. But
Okay. I
yeah,
just wanted people to, he's 13 years old, got to go to school the next day, living in a hotel with mom, and she's making drugs. And that wasn't your first time seeing that, was it?
no, she had done
We
it quite regularly. She just had normally taken better precautions. She'd do it outside the initial pushing the butane through to strip the THC.
Yeah.
And that process is kind of you'd pack bud or stems and leaves, whatever product you're using, into a tube, and you'd grab a hot plate, a cake pan with water, and then a Pyrex dish. You'd push the butane through the weed so it strips the THC
Okay.
from the bud or whatever else, and it comes out into a liquid form into this Pyrex dish. And when you're done with that, you'd set it into the water on the hot plate to boil out the butane.
Yeah.
So pretty much what had happened, um, after we go back and forth for a minute, she insists on doing it. So she ends up blowing 3 or 4 cans, and like I said, she was on something because instead of putting it on the hot plate to boil the butane out, she stuck it straight in the freezer.
Oh, okay. So there would be some liquid as it came out, and then on the
Yeah,
hot
and
plate it evaporated.
yep.
Okay. And you said it was oil, or was she actually making hash?
She was making dabs. So it's like
I was a pothead a long time ago, but it was before then.
I guess it'd be I guess the closest thing I could describe it to. It's completely different, but like Rick Simpson oil, like that consistency, super
Yeah.
sticky.
But it almost sounds like to me, if you wanted to, you could have done that because you had seen her do it so many times.
100%.
That bothers me badly.
Yeah, I had no ordinary childhood growing up.
I want to
But
skip over and say that we'd talk about it later, but it's the final dad talk. Obviously, her and your dad had split up. What was it like with men? Did she have someone after your dad that was consistent? Did she have a good male role model for you in there when you couldn't be around your dad? What was going on?
she
Drugs?
was she was with my brother's dad for like over 10 years, I want to say.
Okay.
Longer than that. Yeah, 10 years.
Older brother?
Younger.
Younger.
So yeah, she was with him for years. They had their own problems.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go too much into that, but
No, no.
not the
You know what, Brian? Let's nix that. That's my bad, dude. Yeah, I don't want to get into your, personal family stories. It's bad enough. She's making hash oil. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You're living in a hotel. I think people can read between the lines. No, that's not a normal childhood. And I wish I would have knew. I would have adopted you in a heartbeat. Yeah, I say that to him every time. All right. What happens as the hash? All right, she's made it. Walk us.
so really the big thing is what made the change is there was no ventilation in the room. Like her skipping that extra step didn't it wouldn't have changed the outcome whether she had boiled it off or not.
Okay.
Butane gas is heavier in the air. It's such a small room that gas has nowhere to go, and it's heavier than oxygen, so it just sits low on the floor.
You have a guesstimate how many square feet that hotel room is, or just regular hotel room?
It was a motel, and it was a single bed motel. We just squozed like a full size bed and a twin mattress.
Okay. Did
200 square feet, give or take, 240.
okay.
So, not a very big room, no windows, no doors open. So, after she had got done with that process, she went into the bathroom. I got up to get a drink from the refrigerator, opened it, and I'm sure all of you guys have fridges. You'll hear like that generator kick on to keep everything cold. Well, that generator kicking on when I opened the fridge door, it was just poor timing. There was an internal spark in there. Happens every time. And that spark ignited the fumes of the butane. And
So I thought it was she lit a cigarette.
that's what she tried saying. That's what she told fire
See?
investigators.
And
Um,
that's what I've told the world.
I mean, that could have been the cause, but
Right.
from the fire investigator's standpoint, it was me opening that fridge and that generator kicking on to circulate cold air.
So there's a spark that happens. I didn't know
It's
that.
very small and it's internal in the fridge's motor.
That that hotel room had to have a lot of gas in there.
Yeah, she would do like the big tall butane cans.
Oh,
And four of those.
so walk us through And so another detail I let everybody know. I always thought you was in a 3-story hotel. This is just a 1-story hotel. And
Yeah.
I've been telling the story wrong for a long time, guys, because it was worse. I thought 3-story part was bad and getting blown out the window like I had originally. I don't know where I heard that, Brian, but and I was under the impression that you was knocked out.
I mean,
You
I
was
was I blacked out. I don't know. There's a few second gap from when I opened that fridge to when I woke up, came back conscious on flames. Um, I'm not sure if you want to pop that picture up.
yeah. So here is this guy. So this is the hotel when it caught on fire. Um,
This is a few hours after. I want to say about 6:30 in the morning. 2 hours after.
this is 2 hours after it's been burning.
Yeah, it was a total loss. The entire building had mostly burned down. Um, there was a gas line fueling the fire as well,
Yeah,
but as well as multiple butane canisters because she had 3 or 4 boxes of canisters. If I still had the report, I could get the pictures of the evidence of all of.
so what? Tell us what's going on in the picture right here that you know of. I
So,
think that beam right there that's going straight up. That's where you guys' room was, right?
yep, that was our room, room
Mm.
17.
Now,
So,
was there any other um like nearby vicinities or anything that this fire spread to?
no, it was contained to just the motel itself.
Gotcha. Um. All right. So walk us through like when what happens next and
So explosion happens. I come back to at some point, and I remember walking out the front door, not walking, running, just trying to get the fuck outside. Um, Honestly, felt like I was just having a really bad dream, or I died and went to hell. Um,
you you legit thought you were in hell.
yeah, I mean, I'm burning alive, can feel my flesh melting off.
What
Um,
what can you see?
just straight fire everywhere I looked. I had a general understanding of the layout of the room,
Yeah.
so I was able to get out. Um, yeah, I just had a flashback there, but so yeah, I get out of the room and I cross the gravel parking lot over into the grass. I laid down there, just what the hell else do you do? Um,
But I want to ask when you say feel your flesh melting off. I mean, obviously it sucks. Like, I mean, what's you come up with that terminology for a reason? I mean, what's that feeling like? What's the best you can describe it?
I guess
You might
anyone
not be
that's felt like an oil burn
okay.
or like a hot water burn, you can feel like the skin shrivel up real quick.
Mm.
Like that, but really amplified because it's your entire body and everything around you is on fire.
Are you visibly seeing your body on fire at this point?
So while in the room, yes, but after I got out, I don't think so. Um, I imagine my hair was singed off pretty good before
Yeah.
I got outside. So yeah, after laying in the grass for a few seconds, I heard people like yelling for me, thinking I was still inside. Um, so I ended up like trying to yell like I'm over here. They couldn't hear me just because of how bad my airway was burned.
Yeah.
So I ended up forcing myself to walk over there, like back towards the front of the motel room. like, hey, I'm here. And I noticed my brother was sitting in front of the burning room. So I got him to move. And through all like the chaos and whatnot, I noticed other people like moving their cars. Obviously, I knew I was burned pretty bad, but clearly didn't think it was that bad because I tried getting in our car to move it as well. Um,
During this
but
time, though, you're on fire. All this is going on. You're going to check on your brother.
yeah, I wanted them to move because you could see the room is completely on fire. Um,
In the shape that you are, I just wanted people to know. Um, I'm going to get you back for what you did to me earlier. I appreciate all this stuff you said, but I want people to know who Brian is, how much you care for other people. You're in this moment. You even described it as almost like a hell, and you're wanting to make sure he's okay.
yeah. Um,
Now, have you went to the grass and started trying to put yourself out yet?
yeah, at that point I had already laid down for a few minutes. I don't know, my sense of time is definitely off from that night.
Is it blurry?
It's not blurry, just more so like I know the events that happened, just the timing at which they happened is a little foggy.
I could imagine adrenaline
Oh,
through the
definitely.
roof.
100%. I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't really feel much at the time. So, yeah, before I had gotten into our car, I seen other people moving their cars, told my brother to move, whatnot. And I originally had tried getting into a neighbor's car. I'm not sure if you want to pop that picture up.
I'm gonna try
This
to.
one is
Um,
graphic, so you guys are aware.
mm,
So what you're seeing there is my bloody handprint from trying to get into that neighbor's car.
I,
Um, he had turned me down just due to the condition. I don't know if he was worried about his seats or what, but he wouldn't let me in his car. So I had ended up trying to get into our car and move it. I remember sitting in the front seat and like we kept our keys in the ignition just because everyone does up there. And I was like sitting there trying to crank it and it wouldn't turn. I don't know why that was, but yeah, everyone was screaming at me to get out of the car, and I didn't notice it right away, but because the heat was so intense from the fire in our room and our cars parked directly in front of the room, the car itself, the front bumper, had caught on fire. So I was in a burning car and they're all screaming at me to get out. I remember just feeling like almost stuck in that seat is the best way to describe it.
you think that you wanting to get to the hospital or wanting to get the car going, like mom, brother, get in the car, let's go, wanting to save it. Like you don't really know why you was doing it that way.
I don't. Um,
You're just kind of
my thinking at the time was get the car away from fire like everyone
right.
else was doing. But
Well, that's your car. Was that the only car your mom had?
yeah,
And you're living in a motel, um, which I'll get to in a sec. I want to get back to something, Brian. This is every time I see that picture, it's the part that pisses me off the most. You said you. What did the guy say to you when you went to get in the car?
he had told me no because something about the seats. Didn't want the seats messed up or didn't want the
Don't want your seats messed up.
fabric getting in my skin. I don't know. The guy was always kind of a dickhead, so
Oh yeah. I'd love to give him a piece of my mind, dude. I mean, just think about that, guys. You see Brian's bloody fingers on there, just trying to get in. I don't want to get my seats dirty. How'd that make you feel?
I mean, at the time, I wasn't really thinking about it.
No, now, how does that make you feel?
I mean,
I'm not a violent person. I'd love right now, dude. I'd take a break and go to a punching bag. I mean, I just don't understand people sometimes. I don't care whose kid it is. It wouldn't even have to be a kid. Um, what happened to humanity? You know, your seats. You're worried about your seats. I just we can go your your car. What's going on with it next? You said you
with,
don't really know why you're doing it.
I mean, like I had a general idea, just get the car away from fire. I seen everyone else like hurrying up and backing their trucks up
Yeah.
and whatnot. Um, there's a little blackout period from the car, but I remember ended up getting back into the grass. I'd walked back over there at some point, and my mom was to my left, and Marcus was somewhere over in the grass on my right. Um, they fire trucks and EMS are already called at this point because the motel was full. Um, there was a neighbor and someone I still speak with today. I'm not going to mention a name, just unnecessary. But she had came. She was a retired paramedic, and she came over, made sure my airway was secure.
That's
And
the one that we want to know their name. I want you to say the name of the dickhead with the car, but I don't know if I want you to or not.
I just don't know. She's kind of a private person. I don't want to
Oh
put.
no! I'm just
Gotcha.
that really upsets me with other dude.
Hold on.
That's amazing. Now was she one of the only ones that had came up trying to assist with you guys?
There was other people that had checked on us, but just the condition was so bad, no one wanted to like touch any of us and fucking make
Right.
it worse.
Well, probably didn't know what to do. What I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't know what to do in that situation other than call 911.
yeah, and they all did that. I know a few of them had went around banging on doors to wake people up and make sure they're out of the building. Um, so yeah, at some point, firefighters, EMS show up. It took them quite a few minutes just because it's all volunteers in such a small town. Um, so yeah, they had showed up, and I remember the first ambulance was trying to take my younger brother first, and they had came over, got me on a sheet, covered me up with the sheet, like another one, and they realized I was a lot worse. They tried calling for helicopter lift because I was so bad, but the closest one was 40 minutes out because there was another accident somewhere else.
Did you just say that you told him to take your brother first?
No, they were going to take my brother first.
Okay. All right. I'm glad I asked.
So yeah,
But
they
your brother
sent.
got burned, just so everybody knows. He got some severe burns, but not like Brian.
Yeah, his arms and legs are really bad. His legs are worse than mine, actually. And I don't know if that's just because the level of care I had was better, or could be a few different things. I'm not gonna go down that road, but
Right.
so yeah, they tried calling for a helicopter lift just because of how bad me and my mother were, and 40 minutes out, so they ended up loading me into the first ambulance, and they were going to transport me to the nearest hospital, which was Cadillac, just so I had any chance at life. But the end goal was Grand Rapids or Traverse City. I believe it was Grand Rapids because I ended up there. Um, Helen DeVos has a burn center, so I guess that makes sense.
Did you ever find out how your dad was notified?
I've heard the story a few times. I don't recall.
Okay.
I think the hospital called him. He had got
Okay.
someone that came up there had given him the info, I guess, and he had gotten a call.
Because she wasn't allowing you to have contact with him, right?
No.
No. Okay. So I was just wondering, like, how he got pulled into the picture.
So yeah, I'm in the ambulance, and I'm kind of just sitting there, like waiting to go. They had covered me back up with another sheet after getting me on the backboard and the gurney, and yeah, sorry.
No, you're okay.
I remember looking down and seeing this segment of my arm hanging off. I'm not sure if you guys can see that well.
Hold up. I'm going to pull myself down, Brian, while you're showing.
Okay. Yeah, this segment of my arm, I remember the skin hanging off. And then there was this, like, the smell in the ambulance was definitely unforgettable. I don't know how to describe it other than, like, burnt meat or burnt plastic. But yeah,
I'm sure, and I've heard this from other people. I can't remember exactly where they say it's a smell that you'll just never forget. It's not like any other thing. Hey, there was a time Brian shared with me a story. I forget what you had wrote that story for. I could not believe what this kid had wrote. You could be an author. I'm serious, dude. You shocked me. But as much as all that time I spent with your story, reading that, and it really put it in perspective for me what it was like for your angle, because I didn't go into too many details with you when we told it the first time, but you was describing that smell and smelling your own flesh and what that was doing to you and the nausea and everything. I don't know if you want to go into, like really details, but that man, I just,
yeah, we can do that.
but you go as far as you want to go with it, but it really made me, it was something I wouldn't have thought of, because
Just the smell that night, the thoughts of, like, how the fuck I'm gonna explain to friends the next day that coincidentally my house burned down the same night as the motel.
you told me one time, even, when the nightmare, you thought you was in hell, you got this, and like, so how was it about like this, Brian, that was hanging down?
You can see the scar itself. It's like
Okay.
this section right here.
Right there by the tattoo
Yep.
where it's pink.
Yep.
It was just dangling down.
Yeah.
And that's just where I guess it through and was just flapping.
Yeah, I don't know really what happened. I just remember seeing it like hanging down off my arm. It's like one of those things you see out of the corner of your eye.
But
I don't know why that's stuck with me all these years, but
all that stuff that he's talking about and got this, and you told me the main thing that you was thinking about is what you're going to tell your friends at school tomorrow because you didn't want them to look down at you because you had been living in a motel.
Well, yeah, because I was definitely like the poor kid out of the friend group. Like these kids all got fucking loving families that have money, and I'm like in that inner group, I guess you could call it, of the popular kids. And
You
I'm,
don't want to lose that.
yeah, definitely.
It wasn't easy to get there and to jockey into that position. You're making me have flashbacks.
Yeah, I was always kind of like not necessarily the odd one out.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude.
Like
What
people in that group, I still call my brothers to this day. So
was that 7th grade?
yeah, that this happened. It was into seventh grade, going into eighth.
Okay, that was the year for me, man. I remember it more than anything. It was the thing for me. It was definitely some years before you, but if you didn't have money, there was cliques. I mean, I live in a country place,
Yeah,
so
it's same.
you had to
Exactly
have the
what you're
money.
thinking.
Yeah, if you didn't have the money or your parents and the different cliques, and for some reason, clothes, you had to have
Close.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Ours was always like basketball shoes, Nike,
Well, that
and
too.
in that town, if you don't have one of their popular last names, like
Oh yeah,
you'll get looked down upon. And I feel like, and I
Tommy.
was just barely like I was on that inside group, but I could very easily be pushed off onto that other group of kids, I guess.
You have no idea just how much I can relate to that, man. Because that was me. I for there was a couple of the popular kids that allowed me to be their friend, and they kind of let me know what gets you there, what keeps you there, and who was ranked where. And for some reason that mattered so much to me back then because I had always been, yeah, I felt like the outsider too. I mean, I'm a Pentecostal preacher's kid. I my dad and them had a 1984 Bonneville, and I got invited to one of their birthday parties one time, and I was so embarrassed in my nerves, Brian. I remember I didn't want him to pull up the driveway, like drop me off at the end of the driveway, and he's just sitting there making jokes the whole time. I didn't want him to see our car.
Yeah, that's fair. I've definitely been there. Having girlfriends around that age, like, oh, drop me off at the lake and I'll just walk the 2 miles home.
That had to be so hard. Like what? I guess I should have asked this earlier because I want to get back to that. But um, why were you guys living in a motel without going into too much? I
So
stopped.
we had this house. It
Yeah.
was a nice double wide trailer on a decent section of land. It was being paid for by Section 8. Um, Pretty much the owner of that house had a daughter that was moving back to Michigan, and our lease was coming to an end. So instead of letting us renew, he wanted his daughter to have a place to live. And I believe that was why we had to move from there. We ended up moving into like a family friend's trailer because they had moved to Chicago and she owned it outright. So we were there for quite a few months over the winter. And I believe like the pipes had bursted or something. So there was no water. And so yeah, like our only option was we were staying there while looking for another house or somewhere that accepted Section 8 to live. And they offered to pay for the motel for a few weeks until we found something out.
I just Man. Uh, one little jackass, I don't want to get away with this. Wasn't there somebody in this story who ended up coming off as a hero that was I don't even want to say it all. I want you to say it if you're okay with saying it.
Yeah, so pretty much throughout like the preliminary hearings and whatnot, and just word of mouth throughout town, he had told people that he had went into the fire and grabbed one of us out. He said it was my younger brother that he had grabbed, but both of us walked out on our own accord. He had actually went in to grab my mother's safe, and if you look up my name or Manton Motel Fire preliminary hearing, he describes his injuries. It's smoke inhalation and second or third degree burns to the hands. Why would you only burn your hands if you're going into a ball of fire? If you're just
Right.
walking into the doorway, turning to the left and grabbing the safe or trying to.
Right.
So, yeah, he had pretty much just ran around trying to play hero. It's in official court documents that he woke up to my mom saying, "Hippie, hippie, get my kids." And he ran with that.
How'd that make you feel then and now?
I called him out about it, or not him. Was kind of irritated by it.
Yeah.
I've definitely spread out that's not the truth, the word of mouth, just when I'd be asked about it.
Because what you're saying is you went back to check on your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um, you remember much about that ambulance ride to the hospital?
No, so actually I had blacked out.
Out.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if they gave me drugs or comfort meds, whatever they had gave me, but it was just black. I ended up waking up in a hospital room somewhere along the way. Or actually, no, I'd woken up for a few seconds being wheeled out of the ambulance into the Cadillac hospital. And then it was black again. And then my next memory is being in an intake room somewhere surrounded by tons of doctors and just asking for water.
You
Water,
thirsty.
water. And I kept asking for it. And they finally got me a cup of ice chips and were feeding me those. And then it was just black again. Um,
Did the ice chips help any?
oh, definitely.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Only way I could describe it is being stuck in the heat all day with the driest mouth you've ever felt and finally getting like that relief of moisture.
There was somebody I talked to. I don't know if I've ever told you this part. I'll tell you some more on this later. But they had said something about when you got to the hospital, and it made sense to me because anytime I've ever ran a fever, especially if you have a high fever, flu or something, and it gets above 102, 103, you get the chills. Even though you're hot, you're kind of cold, and they said you had chills. Do you remember that?
Very slightly. I mean, all your skin's burnt off. There's nothing to keep that warmth in. You're losing fluids.
Yeah.
You're bloody. I mean,
But you would think because you're burning, it'd just be feel like you're on fire. But there was moments in time where you were
yeah.
cold.
After that adrenaline wears off and whatnot,
Okay.
I mean, you could pop up the pictures. Warning, these are pretty graphic.
Yeah.
You can
Um,
see just how bad it was.
let's at the top, Brian. This was, do you know which hospital? And
So these were all taken at the Shriners in Boston, Massachusetts.
okay, this is after the first three hospitals that you had been taken to.
Yeah, so after Helen DeVos, all the hospital in Michigan could offer me is comfort care, just because of how bad they were understaffed at the time, I guess. And yeah, they didn't think I'd make it very far.
Yeah.
But luckily, one of the nurses or doctors, someone along the way knew of the Shriners, knew that they're a burn hospital, and they had made a call on their own. It was like, hey, we got this kid. We can't offer him much. He's burned really bad. He needs a miracle. And my main surgeon at the hospital said, yeah, send him. And so they got the U.S. military's, like, it's the jets they use to fly soldiers home.
Yeah.
Um, they came and got me from the Grand Rapids airport. My father was able to meet us up there. They
You
got
rode
us on
with
a
you.
plane and did Mach 2 all the way to Boston.
Do you remember any of that on that plane, Brian? No. I'm
No,
glad you don't. I wish you I wish you could have go back now and be like, I want to remember this in a good time, or in a good way. That's
yeah,
pretty badass, Mach 2, but not.
well, I guess I had actually crashed mid-air, like
Yeah.
route to the hospital. Um, so they had to drop elevation by like 30,000 feet because you got to be at a certain height to fly that fast.
This is one of the ones I've never said, with me and you talking, but I want to do it now. It was a nurse, I believe, said that night when it was one of the three hospitals. I can't remember which one it was, but when you got to the hospital and she saw, it's the same one talking about the chills. That after they saw you in the condition that you was in, they went to a room down the hall that nobody was in, went behind it, locked the door, got fell to their knees and started screaming at God, and was crying, saying, please take him now. Like, I don't want him in any more pain, please. Have you ever heard that story?
Um, I believe I've heard you tell me about that. Um,
Oh, I have.
that was someone that reached out to you after you
Nurse.
were in the story. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, it's definitely a difficult thing to hear, but a completely human reaction.
yeah.
Because that's, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I'm sure a lot of people have that question with religion is why does God let these bad things happen to the innocent?
Yeah. I mean, because you already had the challenges that you did. I mean, you're living in the motel and then you talk about what was going on with the kids and stuff. And like I said, I could relate to that. Here you are in one of these bad situations. You think you're waking up in hell, and the person wouldn't even let you in the car. And what is Brian thinking? Like, oh, what am I going to tell my friends at school tomorrow? How do people? Why are some put in situations that are just so much more difficult, and then others not? That's the parts of life that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and that's something I've faced my entire life is it always seems I'm end up on the short side of the stick.
Yeah,
Like I have to work 10 times harder for shit everybody else gets handed to them.
you do, and that's why I said, man, you're one of my heroes. But like, you haven't let it get you down. He's in college right now. This is your last semester, right?
Yep, this winter semester, um, taking this fall semester off, but winter semester will be my last one.
All right. So I want to make sure we get that, and we'll get back to that picture. Three different hospitals. All of them said there's nothing we can do. All we can do is keep them comfortable. I mean, that tells you guys how severe it is.
The Shriners didn't even have high hopes that I'd make it. Like they let my dad know like this is a long shot. Um,
but they did, and thank God they did.
like they didn't even think I was gonna make it through that first week.
I want to bring this back up because you told me something at one point. I saw these pictures for years, but on the foot
Yep.
where that was, I thought that was where your skin had ripped. And you had mentioned the white on it, how that's supposed to be like the most severe of burns. That was my first time hearing something like that too. But
Yep.
that's kind of what happened there, Brian.
So on the foot, that's they take electrocauterization and they cut open the super swollen areas. Um, it's kind of like a last ditch effort to avoid cutting off my foot.
Oh, they would have had to cut it off.
If the swelling would have continued and
Oh,
there's no blood circulation, it would have eventually died off.
got you.
So I'm not sure if you can zoom in at all to my face.
I don't think so, bud.
So you can see those white spots on my face. Same thing there.
Yeah.
Um,
You talking about like right here?
yep, right next to my eye.
Yeah.
So on both sides of the face, right there, that's also one of those super deep burns.
Hmm.
Those type of burns actually have like a leather type feel.
Yeah.
So it feels like your leather jacket or couch is the only way to describe the sensation of like touching something like that.
I actually got censored on Facebook for this picture. I think you said you had been through it too, hadn't you?
Yeah, they've tried taking them down.
Yeah. And I told him, no, this is, you know, I can't imagine, man. I just can't. I mean, well, let me ask this first. What do you think of, and what's your thought when you look back at these pictures now? I know you've seen them so many times, it probably only does so much, but what was, if you can remember, what was your thoughts like the first several times you saw those pictures to see how bad it was?
So I kind of looked at it a bit different after I came to terms of what I looked like. Like first time finding out what I looked like, they used to cover all the mirrors in my rooms and in the bathroom when they take me to go shower.
Really? So you couldn't see yourself?
Yeah, so my first time seeing myself, I had gotten an iPod from Child Life, and they didn't think to disable like the camera or anything.
Mm.
So I got on Snapchat, like to go text my friends because they wanted me to be able to do that. And the first thing I see is like, oh shit. I mean, that first time I just closed the app and fucking cried.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was definitely rough.
Was you like wanting to get, like, after you got through crying, did you want to get back on there and look again, or?
It took me a few days, definitely.
Yeah.
I tried to hide the fact that I had seen myself because they had asked me, they're like, do you want to see this? And I just like wasn't ready yet. They're like, it is pretty bad. Like, we think with time you will start to look normal,
Right.
like with the surgeries we can offer you. But it is bad now. And I decided therapist, like now wasn't the right time, so they did everything they could to prevent that. And yeah, it's
I'm curious, like once that's done, how did that how did the reactions when people would just interact with you change, and how did that
so
make you feel? Because I I've told you this, and
funny enough. After I took that few days, I had eventually gotten back on that fucking iPod, and I decided to take a picture of myself and send it to all my friends. And they thought it was like someone on my account playing some sick joke. They refused to believe it was me. So I probably traumatized quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I have the picture somewhere.
Was that, you know, why you wanted to get that out to him? Or
I don't
you,
know.
you just kind of, that was where you were at? Like, I want to know what my friends are going to think about me, or?
No, it wasn't that necessarily.
Okay.
It was more so I had texted them first and they didn't believe it was me
Oh, okay.
because whatever. So I sent the picture and then they still didn't believe it. They thought it was just like some fucked up joke. Oh,
Once they knew
actually,
you weren't joking, like, how were your friends with you?
a lot of them were supportive. I mean, I received nothing but support from
Good.
the community. I just scrolled back
Yeah.
into my early Google photos, and since we talked about like the consistency and what it looked like, the dabs.
Yeah.
This is a picture of my mom's that is in my Google photos, so you can kind of see that's it in the Pyrex.
Okay.
So you'd scoop that,
Okay.
but just give me 2 seconds. I might be able to find this picture.
No, you're good, bud. You're good. You know, I think I told you it's crazy. When I was a kid, one of my favorite movies, my mom and I think would testify to this. There was a kid, and I think I told you about him. His name was David. And it was a story. I love watching. Not maybe the story was horrific, but his own dad, uh, they had a custody conflict between the mom, but he got to go with his dad, and his or no, you know, it's been a while. Somehow or another, David ended up with his dad. He told David he was taking him to Disneyland,
I
and that
found it.
night in the hotel,
That was the picture I'd
I
sent to my
remember
friend.
that one. Yes. Oh, that's the picture you took to send to your friends. I've seen that picture numerous times.
Yep. I don't think it's that one you've seen. It's a different one. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I've
it.
seen that one.
Have you?
That was one of the ones that I used for the article
Oh, gotcha.
after trying. Yeah, it was
I
one of
really didn't look that bad in that one. I don't know
no, no.
how that turned into. Let's see. It's an early on picture. Into that, I guess.
Yeah,
Not sure.
yeah. So I mean, your look was changing what by the month or every other month because of the surgeries that you were having.
What'd you say?
Your look, how you would look, different things with your face. Your face was changing all the time because of the surgeries, right?
Yes and no. It just depends. Like, I'd go in there and I'd tell them like, okay, I want to do 8 or 9 different things, and they're like, "Oh, are you sure? Like, it's gonna be painful." And I was just wanting to get as much of it done at one point as they'd allow me to do.
Yeah,
So I'd go in, I'd get 4 or 5 different spots on my body cut open on the same side, just so I'm down one side for 2 to 4 weeks. Um, do laser all over, and that like pretty much what laser is. It goes in and breaks up the scar tissue. Pretty painful. You got to sit there and slather Vaseline on it and go drink it like dirt does water. So you got to keep it super moisturized, and it's a chore for sure.
um, just so everybody knows, I think the most common surgery that you would have to go for, Brian. How often did you have to go to releases? Like after?
As I was so because I was so young when it happened, every time like I'd hit a growth spurt, my body wouldn't grow with me. So like my skin would get tighter. I wouldn't be able to move my arm past like this point.
Yeah.
So they'd have to cut it and then add like skin from a donor site or something to expand it. Or they do another one called Z-plasty.
Yep, I got that on here.
And you got that one
I do. So I
they
guess yeah, I'll
explain-
pull it up first. Let me find it, Brian. I have to look. Oh, here we go.
that was a good one to pull up first. So you can see
Well, they
the
can.
direction they cut in. So that same thing happened there, and then they cut away the scar tissue and rearranged the flaps. So if you want to pull that other one back up. So that pretty much just changes the direction of the scar bend. Gives you a little more play without as long of a healing time. Those heal up in a week.
That made it make so much more sense to me because I saw that. But yeah,
They've done like on the pinky. That's just super clicky because it's been broken, and there's also a scar bend that runs.
I think another one that really helped it really
here.
sink in with me. This one, Brian. I'm just gonna have to pull it up from.
Oh yeah. So before that, my toes were like pointing almost straight up and down. So
And is I guess that's from where when the burn it tightened the skin.
yeah,
And
pulls those toes up, and my toes were webbed, so it pulls it all up at the same time.
And you were saying like when the doctor
Yeah, they
on it, he said they like exploded almost because they
he barely
trying to
touched
grow.
it. Yeah, so he barely touched it, and the whole foot just shot open.
How old do you think you were here, or how long after the surgery?
That was I want to say 2018.
Okay, because I mean now 2018, you're 13 or 14 years old. The toes almost look like little kid, not teenager, but little kid. And I guess that's from where the fire had kind of done that. And that's just my perception.
Yeah, so I always had to wear shoes like that were like mesh topping
Yeah.
because anything else put too much pressure and it just hurt.
Hurt. Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff too. You had to be careful it would stick.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm sure there was times too with the open wounds and stuff like clothes or shoes, it would stick if you wasn't careful.
So a big one with that was my leg. It scabbed up, but it did something called an auto release just because it was so tight, and I had avoided the area because I didn't want to be able to not walk for so long.
I got one on here, Brian.
That's probably the one I'm looking for.
This one.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
Send it to you
Okay.
shortly after that. It's the one of the big wound on my leg where it like auto released. I got it right here. I just seen it looking for that other one.
Okay.
Right there. So you can kind of.
And that's how long after the accident?
I'll get you the date. You might be able to see it.
Yeah. No, it was on there good.
So that was July 8th, 2018, almost a year and a couple months after. So that's a scar band that's on my leg, and it's trying to contract my leg into as if I had my legs to my chest. But because I was walking so much and just not allowing it to contract like that, it actually split open.
I was just looking in these pictures. I got to pick at you for a second. What the hell were you eating, boy?
Everything.
Man, you've lost a lot.
Yeah, this was the other day. Hold on. And it's fucked up because I posted it on TikTok and I got flagged for an AI.
What?
I'll show you the picture. It says may contain AI content.
I know. I understand why they're doing it, but if you're going to flag, you need to know what AI is and what it's not.
It's like
Oh, dang. When was that?
just the other day.
Uh-oh.
And it's like in my Snapchat memories. It's not. The only thing I edited was adding a filter because the lighting was ass.
The music could get us a copyright.
Gotcha. Like, yeah, that's in my Snapchat memories.
There you go. There you go. Right. Why
This
are we
was.
beating the ladies off?
But yeah, from how I ended up pulling that one off, it was like 240, 250 going into my sophomore year. I started off college by leaving all but one or two hoodies at home and not taking a single pair of sweatpants. And I did that to allow myself to build confidence and force myself to wear nothing to cover it. Just wanted.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you got the confidence and stuff. You always, you should, man. I mean, your
It took me
story.
a while, but I don't really care at this point. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's, they have nobody has any room to do anything like that. There's nobody that knows what it's like to walk in them shoes, myself included. And that's what I said. Like, man, you're a hero to me. And your story gave that purpose. Not only that, wasn't there a point in time because of your mom with the drugs, like that there's many of those surgeries you did with no anesthesia and no pain medicine, right?
yeah, so when I woke up in the hospital in Boston, my main goal was getting off the IV pumps.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, all meds at some point, but the first step was getting down. I was at like 3 or 4 different IV pulls. Um, and I was going through so many pain meds, like bags of pure morphine, like at the start.
Because it was leaking out, right?
Yeah, I didn't have skin to keep it in, so there's no overdose factor. So
I had never heard of that, man, until you
it
told
was
me.
trying to keep me out of pain. So they bags of morphine, fentanyl, Dilaudid,
So
just a whole cocktail to keep me asleep and out of pain.
how did they know how much to give or like how fast to let the medicine go? The fact
I'd
that
imagine it was just trial and error, but
okay,
good rule with them is they can take your body weight, your height, and the recommended dose as they would for anyone.
I would love to be able to go with you one day to the Shriners and just get them to walk us through this, process because
I actually was able to stop out there in March and surprise all of them. Yeah, they were super shocked to see me because I didn't tell anyone besides one of the nurses. It's like, hey, is everyone working today?
because
Yeah, everyone's here. I
because
didn't tell them I was in town or anything. What'd you say?
I was gonna say because when that happened and we finally got, we haven't went through it all in the story yet. It's coming up, but in 2020 it took off. That gave them a lot of awareness and promotion, I would believe.
Yeah, so you writing your blog post, they actually took that and put that on their main website as well.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
It got them a donation on my behalf. I believe it was 50,000
dude.
was donated to the Shiners on my behalf, so I actually have a little golden plaque on their main lobby wall.
Oh my God, dude.
I didn't know that until just a couple months ago.
Like I said, just because of this with Dad Talk, I'm not going away. Stories like this and people who persevered. Your story. I met someone in Vegas whose story I'm going to be doing hers before too long. She's never even told anybody her story. Didn't even think anybody would care. And when her dad was telling me, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, born with cerebral palsy and uh, was cross-eyed. Like both eyes were in. Had an arm like this, and then there was a growth over the knee. Couldn't walk, and she talked about like what she went through in school. The kids weren't as nice to her, but she was able to straighten her arm out, get her eyes to straighten out, and she can walk, and she can outlift me and you, bud. 347-pound bench press.
That is fucking insane.
I might be able to get one, but I've been working really hard. It's the best shape of my life. A woman, and she's 53. 53. And that's the stuff that inspires me, man. That to me means more than Superman or Iron Man, because it's real. And that's people that faced adversity. I mean, knowing that you went through all this and no pain meds on those surgeries. Like, so this is something that you had to have done. This is what a release is, guys. Now I know what this is, Brian, but explain it for everybody.
So that's pretty much just them cutting areas along the scar bands and adding a little piece of skin in. So how they take a skin graft is actually like, easiest way to describe it is like a cheese grater. So
Yeah.
they just go along, they scrape off that top few layers of skin, and then depending if it's big enough or not, like if they don't have much to work with, they can run it through a mesher, which takes that skin that's, say, like a strip like this, adds a bunch of holes into it to stretch it out, and it can make it into like,
And I know, like, I was telling you, my mother-in-law, she was cooking one time, and my wife, they've told me the story numerous times, but she was telling me she had a really bad burn, but it was just her arm. They had to do the skin graft, but they used pig skin. I didn't know they could do stuff like that, man. You would never know that was pig skin on her.
yep, so they can use pig skin, they can use tilapia skins.
That one, that blew my mind. Do they use tilapia skin much?
Depends on the hospital, but a lot do. It wasn't used on me just because I had a seafood allergy.
Yeah.
So with tilapia skin, it's kind of just used as a band-aid because it's got a lot of healing properties and whatnot in it.
Okay.
So it's kind of just placed over until your skin heals back.
That's right, because you were saying it got fish oils and stuff.
It's more common practice in like smaller burns, like say you had like just the top of your hand burned.
Yeah.
Just wrap it. Well, they wrap it in tilapia skin. I imagine it's a certain medical grade fish. Couldn't just take it from. I'm gonna look that up actually.
Yeah. I kind of want to see it for myself. Tilapia skin. I would have never known. And just so everybody knows too, I know we're at the 2 hour and 15-minute mark. We're going to try to wrap this up in a second, but I had talked about
So they
trying to get this out very quick, but he said if he's going to tell a story, he wants to get it out all together. So we're going to take our time and with this one. So, it actually had one that said before and after.
Yeah, so they got, it's called a xenograft, I guess.
I'm about to pull it up on the screen, Brian.
What'd you say?
I'm about to pull it up on the screen for you.
Cool.
Well, let me make sure. I'm going to pull this down. You see it up there?
I do not. There it goes.
I got to get that off the screen. Really? Well, sorry, guys. If
you never know what you're gonna get when you turn off.
I mean, it should like.
I mean, it's medical. I mean,
it's medical. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Apologies. tilapia skin burn treatment, but you could see it. So that is crazy. It's even got the scales, but I'm guessing like the scales and everything once it heals.
Yeah, it kind of just falls off, or it can be taken off or scraped off. So they
Oh,
call it a xenograft. Is like the medical term.
once once it heals the
Yeah,
that
it'll just peel away
oh that
because
is neat, man.
it's not as if it's gonna be your actual skin. It's just a
Yeah,
medicated band-aid. Is
that is neat, dude. That is so neat. I wonder how they even figure this stuff out.
testing.
um and so is that Brian, I'm gonna pull this picture up right here. Is it this that's where they were getting grafts from your legs, right?
Um, no, so that they had actually taken. I could show you actually. So where's it at? Right here, you can kind of see a slight scar.
Yep.
Not to get too much into politics, but in June of 2017, Trump had passed that Right to Choose Act for medical care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that opened up a door of possibilities for us. Department of Defense, Homeland Security.
Oh no, you're a Trump supporter. I knew it. I'm unfollowing you right now,
Don't
Brian.
put labels on me.
I'm unfollowing you. I'm just kidding.
Um, yeah, they all came in with a bunch of different things they wanted to try, and they were all experimental. There was these special pillows that you'll find in hospitals worldwide now that was tried on me first. I was one of the first few. Um, and those pillows, I think I've shown them to you like when we first started talking. They like mold any way you want it to.
Yeah.
Um, so there was those, but as for which that just popped up on screen, the legs, they took a bunch of plugs in my skin. It's like a device about that big in diameter. It's a bunch of needles. I forget the gauge of them, but yeah, pretty much they take a bunch of plugs of skin and then they put them in an incubator in these like playing card style
Yeah.
containers, and they grow skin from your DNA.
That is neat. That is neat.
So each of my legs is about $3 million, and that's what it costs like a normal person to get the amount of work done that was done on my legs.
That probably
Because that's
cost
the
the
amount.
hospital 300.
What'd you say?
No, it cost a lot more. Little crack at the healthcare industry that charges you $10 for a band-aid.
Yeah, I mean, $6 million. You tell people you got $6 million legs, they don't tend to believe it, but you got to think about the amount of time and effort it
Oh
takes
yeah.
to get those perfected. Because obviously, not all of them are going to turn out how they want them to. So it's trial and error of getting as many as you need to be able to.
Well, not just that, like the more people that need it, the cheaper the stuff is. With
I gotta step
something
away for 2
there,
seconds.
that's fine. That's fine. He's got a friend that is bringing him a drink, guys. So, and I promise this was something I told Brian we could try to get this out in like 30 minutes, and I was gonna get up some bullet points, and he was like, "No, I want to tell my story. If I'm gonna tell it, I want to tell it and not rush." And so that's what we're gonna do. But I hope you got me something over there too, bud. There was a few things I'll probably pop on tomorrow, just to wrap up a few little things I was gonna say with this dad talk stuff. I won't lie, man. I was having some separation anxiety with this. I mean, 7 years of your life to put into something,
Where were we at?
We were, I think probably, I know you had wanted me to put this in here too, Brian.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of my stay at the Shriners Hospital, especially like that first 4 or 5 months, because I had no skin and I was on contact precautions and whatnot, they had me in a bubble. Um, there's some like actual physical pictures I have somewhere of my dad and all the nurses in the bubble tending to my bandages. And so, yeah, like when I was, obviously I wasn't awake for it, or if I was very lightly awake.
Yeah.
But I was dreaming a lot in that coma. And the best way I could describe it was as if like I was all over in that world, but I'd always end up back sleeping in like this bus stop.
How long were you in that coma?
For a long time. They'd bring me out of it. I was in it for months though. They'd bring me out at certain
Ooh,
points.
months. Okay. So
But yeah, they wanted me asleep a lot of the time.
they wanted you to, they bring you out of it just to make sure you were waking up every so often and stabilizing.
I mean, I'd imagine so. I mean, I could have been awake a lot longer than I realized, but with as many drugs as I was on, it's
I don't think I'd be complaining either.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'm okay. I love you, Dad. And thank you, Doctor. I'll see you next month.
Well, yeah, I remember one time they had brought me out of it for physical therapy. They had put me on a standing table, which just brings you from flat just to get blood to your legs.
You said that was painful, didn't you?
The most fucking painful shit I've ever experienced, and I've literally burned alive.
Yeah. I can only imagine, dude. So
Like
that,
being stabbed millions of fucking times while your legs are burning and achy. You
yeah.
got those bones fucking compressing again. Because I'm not sure if you know, but like a lot of paralyzed people get drop foot, like where their legs or their feet will just kind of do this because they don't got those muscles to keep
Oh, that makes sense.
up, and they're no longer walking on them. So if you just look up like, or you see people in wheelchairs,
Yeah.
they do have braces and stuff people are supposed to wear, but 95% of them don't. So they get drop toe and drop foot. My brother had it for the longest. So their toes will curl down and like into themselves, and the feet will just kind of go flat with their body.
The standing table now, is that something where it's like a desk where your arms stand on it?
You could probably find a picture.
Oh, well, I got one, but it has. I'm
It's
looking
literally
at
just
it
like a table that slowly inverts.
because I don't think this is what you're talking about.
I mean,
See it
it's loading.
right here?
No.
No, I
Let,
didn't think so.
add physical therapy standing table.
Okay. Physical. Man, I hope I don't get a
Or
surprise like I
inversion
did.
table. Physical.
That I think that's gonna be it. Okay, no. This guy. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yep, sure is.
Okay.
And after a while, when I started waking up more and was like more alert, they used to leave me in that thing for like hours a day. And at some point, it stopped hurting as bad, but it still sucked. Like, I just want to go fucking lay in bed.
I would imagine just with the burns alone, the buckles pulling
Yeah,
against your skin.
they protect it pretty well.
Do they?
That kid's not burned, so they just have it strapped in like normal. I imagine that kid was in some type of accident.
Oh, okay. So like where you was burned and they
Well, I just remember like they had like pads on it.
okay. What caused the pain the most? Was it just the fact of being up or
All that blood flow, like
mm. after.
People that like run a lot, a lot of people will do like wall sits where they'll sit with their butt completely to the wall with their legs straight up in the air,
Yeah.
and let the blood drain. They'll sit there 15 to 25 minutes. So when you finally put your legs down and all that blood rushes back to them, um, for runners, it reduces fatigue, helps restore like blood flow back to the legs.
So
Makes the legs feel less tired, but it's kind of like that feeling, and then like the immense pressure on your feet and ankles, feeling that pressure for the first time in months. After it's kind of like it feels like it's crushing. I don't really. It's the best way I could explain it is like
no, I got
crushing,
you.
burning, stabbing feeling.
I got a few more pictures in here. I'm gonna start wrapping it up here really quick. But I remember the first time I got to meet you. I put it on one of the posts tonight because I wanted people to just understand the level of courage. Not just that. I can't imagine the pain. When you would go to the surgery, it was just like you were so used to doing surgeries. Like at first, when we first met, you had over like 200 surgeries. I know of at least probably like 250. You don't even know how many surgeries you've had anymore, do you?
No, I stopped caring, and that sounds like such a crazy number to even
Right.
like people with long-term medical issues that go for surgery quite frequently. Like a high number is considered like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
But if you consider I consider a surgery me being put under for them to work on me, and that was every day for months. They'd go in, scrape the skin, do something, release an area, graft an area. That was like an everyday thing, or going back to sleep so they can scrub the graft that didn't take, that my body rejected, back off.
I
It adds up quite quickly. And you got to think I'm 9 years in now, so
yeah. I'm so glad you're not having to do that. The last time you went was last August.
yep, it was the day before my brother's funeral, and I was actually awake for that surgery. They did some stuff with my lips, so this bottom lip they had cut
I got
and
that.
took the fatty tissue out and tucked it up,
Yep.
and then the top lip they cut along here, like the nose line, to bring it out a little bit more. Um,
So I noticed down at the bottom, your face is much smoother.
yeah, it's more plump, and the swelling was still there a little bit, so that helped bring
Okay.
it.
Gotcha.
That helped bring everything more flush.
Do you have any more surgery scheduled now?
I should probably schedule a few. I've just been avoiding it because they fucking suck while you're awake, and I can't have. They're trying to avoid putting me under anymore because they got my airway to where they want it. They
Right.
don't want to risk the LMA ventilation, which just sits at the top of your airway,
Yeah.
doesn't get a good enough seal that they feel comfortable operating with, so they have to actually put a tube down my throat. And them doing that after a major airway reconstruction a few years back actually caused a bunch of issues, and they tore through the airway because it's such a complex and narrow compared to the normal person.
Yeah.
It caused quite a bit of damage, and it scarred up. And do you have that picture of the airway? Load it up.
I do. And
Pull
so
that up. That's a good one.
this is what we were raising money for, guys.
So that top hole, um, you can see the narrowing, just how small it was. That's what I was breathing through, with no trach or nothing. Just that's like you plugging your nose and trying to breathe through a hollowed out straw. Is best way of explaining that.
I would imagine, Brian, having an airway that narrow. not only did you breathe better after that was done, I would imagine there was all sorts of differences being able to get that oxygen in
Oh,
you. Like, what all did that do for you once you got that airway?
I could breathe better. I stopped getting as many headaches. Just, I imagine, due to oxygen deprivation. Um, Quality of life was definitely better. I'm a very active person, or I try to be. That's
Also, no trait. So,
that's kind of what led to that massive amount of weight gain over the years when I was younger. Is I couldn't go out and be active, and I kind of just turned to food
yeah,
as a favorite thing.
yeah, understandable. And so, I gotta let people know for years. I said, one, that under, you were in danger of losing your voice altogether, right?
Yep, they feared my right vocal cord was gonna end up paralyzing itself because the left one already is paralyzed. That's why my voice is more raspy and kind of quieter than you'd expect.
And I may have picked this up wrong, and this is the way I said it all those years. So if I got it wrong, I mean, like, but I was under the impression that if we didn't get that surgery, you were going to lose your life, or there was a very good chance of it. In um, seeing that airway right there,
So if it had collapsed, I pretty much refused to get another trach. Obviously, I can live a lifelong thing with the trach, but I don't want a trach. It's no life I want to live.
no,
As you said earlier, I'd rather stop breathing than have to live life with the trach.
my uncle did. I was with him that whole week afterwards. He refused, and he said, "Put me in hospice if I got to live with that." And the feeding tube, nope. They had told him that he could that they thought they was going to be able to take it out, and he had it for many years from the cancer. And once he found out they weren't going to be able to, and that he needed that feeding tube, he starved himself to death.
So my risk of dying was that airway isn't stable. It could close up at any point in time.
Yeah, well, you didn't have much left, man.
Yeah, and that's why,
Jeez.
like, even now, like, I do need all these surgeries. There's a ton I'd love to get done, but it's just contemplating what I want to do while I'm awake, which is local anesthetic.
It seemed like this right here was probably the biggest and most important surgery you had done out of all of those, right?
Yeah, definitely, and that's why they want to keep it
I
nice.
can understand. I can understand 100%. I just want people to see this is how I met you for the first time. This is a little fun fact. I forget about this, Brian. I tell people like just how much dad talk did and how it took off in that early days. And I don't think they truly understand. With 10,000 followers before the first podcast, that was pretty good. But then once the podcast started going, I got invited up in North Georgia to do a news broadcast to talk about the podcast and everything. And then after I did it, it went over well, and we got offered a TV show. This is after I had met Brian, and so they wanted us to do a TV show. So I'm still learning just how to do this podcast. We must be doing something right. So I got to book some guests, and I knew right away Brian Adams, first show. I want people to know about it. I got to raise $150,000. So I know who I want on there. I made a promise to him. And you had been wanting to meet us, and your dad, I'd gotten really close to Rob and everything, him taking care of you. But this is, I would have totally understood if Brian couldn't have came, but this was right out of surgery. This is how I met you for the first time. You didn't wait to heal or anything. I had a picture on there tonight. from where you came down, and I had you a jersey and wanted to give you a jersey. What surgery did you have here, Brian?
So if you look at earlier pictures, I could pull one up. That was pretty much just a bunch of releases. I could show a bit better.
Man,
So that one, they cut the skin. Hold on, I gotta find a good picture.
here is a picture of when you came. He was wearing the hoodie, as you always did. Man, I'm fat there, Brian. So, and we had got you a hockey jersey made up. But that's not the only time you had to be stitched up like that, is it?
Oh no. Tons of times. I've looked identical to that 3 or 4 separate times.
So that might not necessarily be the exact time on the picture, but fresh out of surgery, came down to meet Dad Talk in Georgia and to record that first episode. Yeah.
So you can kind of see by my eyes how that skin was like folding over.
Okay, that you had that when I met. Yep. I had forgot about that, man.
So that picture that you had just pulled up, that bolster was a release there, as well as they did something with my lip. I want to. Oh, that's the one. So I forget the medical term for it, but that little thing that everyone has right here.
Clef. Or not. Well, yeah.
I think it is here, Clef.
Yeah.
My surgeon had made me one of those.
You got that one too.
So I didn't have one before, so I forget how he did it, but Dr. Friedstadt had made it, and I could still kind of feel it today. But he added one of those and did a ton of work to my lips.
Oh man, you can. All right. So this, I mean, you had probably already had surgery on it already, right here, hadn't you?
Yeah, I had done a ton, but like even now, I actually have lips compared to whatever that is. I had a big bottom lip, but.
Brian, can you kind of get a little bit closer to the screen by your picture so I can see something? Go to the right of it a little bit so I can see you. Nope, that or left. You're left. Awesome. So the skin around your eyes, how did they?
Yeah, it's completely free now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. It's amazing you've came so far, bro.
They've done a lot of fucking work.
That's what I said. Yeah. Wear that confidence, man. Wear that confidence. And then I saw that body. To make sure you don't end up in any of those situations that made me do Dad Talk. I forgot about that though. There was one point in time with the eyes. Yeah, it really gotten bad.
I want to say one of the times I came down there, I had actually had surgery on my eye because I remember having a bolster on my eye. Let me see.
Well, that was the first time you had the bolster on. That was for the TV show.
Oh, there's another one. I found an even worse picture of my airway.
We got the cops called on us at Steak and Shake. I took him to Steak and Shake when we was down here, and Brian went and used the bathroom, and man, it was bad, guys.
And that's the size of a pen tip. That's about what I was working with at the time of.
Is that your airway?
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding, dude.
Yeah. That's actually what it was when we started reaching out to you.
You have no idea, man. I am going to frame, and I gotta hopefully get to see you sometime soon. We're gonna take a picture. I'm gonna have this in the frame. I can't believe I hadn't got to see that until not long ago.
Yeah, it's going through these.
And this is why the final episode of Dad Talk. This, had Dad Talk not been going. So, guys, what happened after I told you we did the one episode, Brian let me know, He hated doing the interviews, and I understood. Well, I came up with the thing. He'd come in 20 seconds. Hey, what you doing? Playing video games with your brother? Oh, okay, let me talk to your dad. And so me and his dad would handle it. But I did several interviews, even the TV show. Every chance I got to get a story out there, we did. And I think within a year, it was depressing. I think I was able to get $5,000. I mean, we were not, I didn't have the following back then that I did now. And so I came up with an idea. I still had the blog. It had been a while since I did the blog. And I told his dad, I said, listen, I usually wouldn't do anything like this. Social media is all about sensationalism. I said, I'm going to spend a whole day to get me the pictures. I want to write up an article. And I think we're going to need bigger media. Like, this is bigger than what I can handle. But I was like, we can get their attention. It's just got to be worded right. And yeah. And then I didn't know if it'd work or not. Gave it our all. And then I put that blog up, and within a week, guys, that's what happened. Which one was it that reached out to you first, Brian? Was it the pretty girl?
I have no clue.
I was his favorite guy. We got him that jersey made up, you know. Took him to Steak and Shake and all that. It was all dad talk. But then this pretty blonde comes and does his story, and he forgot about us, man. I ain't gonna lie, Brian. I'd probably done the same thing, dude.
A guy, pretty blonde.
I don't blame you, but still, it hurt. Nah, dude. I was so freaking proud, guys. In a year, and all those interviews to get around at 5,000. There was even a presidential candidate at one time, libertarian, that we brought him on, and I let him talk directly to the candidates. That 1 week, Thanksgiving of 2020, the goal was 150. What did it end up being, Brian? $175,000.
Yeah, it did its thing for sure. So Catherine had ran her story, and then Channel 4 and Channel 7 out of Detroit picked it up off of that and ran their stories, and it just poured in.
It was Manton, Michigan, right?
Yep, where the fire had happened.
I'm going to see if I can find that original GoFundMe.
Like, it's in the link to it.
Yeah, just so people can see it. I mean, it was probably the most fundraiser by Rob Adams. Dude, you actually pull up on like Google, like they got the AI and everything on there.
Yep, if you just search my name with GoFundMe,
I found it.
Pop right up.
Yeah, it didn't take, because I'm telling you guys, it was like the miracle at the holiday. It happened right in time after working so hard, watching it go so slow and thinking you never do it. And then just took off. $232,933 raised to date. I mean, as of 10 months ago. And these were people that were still, they followed your story and knew that you were in college and everything, and still kept going.
And it helped a ton. I wish I still had access to that. But
you don't have access to it anymore?
No, there's something I'm trying to deal with GoFundMe support, but we got locked out of it.
You tried starting another one or something?
Yeah, I have another one.
But do you? And I know it's hard because you got so many people that have followed this. Need to give them the update. I don't think you've ever done an interview this
I
This
have
long, have you?
nope.
I'm just going through words of support, 2 years, Michael Engel, Laurel McIntyre. I mean, it was beautiful, guys. Beautiful seeing it. And well, I gotta say though, dude, and so I think there was something with your eyes there, and that was before some of the surgeries. You looked so much different from there. And there's his dad, sarcastic comment loading, classic Rob. Let me go through there. Okay, you was able to get that on there in Grand Valley State University. You looking good there, Brian.
Yeah,
Who's that with you?
that is actually one of the nurses from U of M. She's
Okay,
a fellow counselor at the Great Lakes Burn Camp with me.
okay. We still got to talk about that too. Dr. Greensill, how did everything look? That's him saying amazing, even better than before.
Yep.
Awesome, dude. It was it. It will be one of the greatest, not just greatest moments of the podcast. One of the greatest things I've been involved with altogether. I want to say, I really do think that blonde. What's the blonde's name? Do you remember it?
Catherine Hoverson.
I knew you would. I would want to say thank you to her because they were the first media to pick up on it that I remember. And after that,
Everyone.
it took off. You did interviews that whole week, didn't you?
Fox News, CNN, they put it on their sites as well, just because the smaller companies, like the local, brought it up to them and got them to post it. Obviously, it didn't frontline the news there, but it was one of their weekly stories.
And all it needed was one social media post to make it viral ready after all that, But she really helped to get that kicked off. And man, see that's what can happen in the world when the news does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
We need more of that and less of the politics. I can understand the politics somewhat, but not to that extent.
yeah, that's all they seem to care about. What did Trump eat for lunch today?
Yes. So you've got a burn camp coming up, right?
Yep, one second. These lights back on.
Okay.
So, yep, we got the Great Lakes Burn Camp summer camp coming up. We have 2 camps a year. I started going there. So I was released from the hospital in November, and I attended the first winter camp. I attended my first winter camp February of 2018.
Okay.
The guy who investigated my fire had actually reached out to us. Well, I guess I should back step. I had heard of the camp from U of M Hospital just because they gave out brochures with all their burn patients. And I was kind of looking at it like, oh, that's kind of cool. Don't really see myself going though, just because, which is a problem we're addressing today. Their brochures, none of those kids looked burnt. None of those kids had the injuries that I had. So why would I want to go to a camp to feel left out or like I'm going to be looked at different?
Right.
So when the fire investigator called me or called my dad and convinced him, we talked for a few minutes and I was like, sure, I'll go. So I got signed up, got on the bus, and when I walked into the gym, I had seen my little brother there. I didn't know he'd be there. So it was kind of like a caught off guard thing because we were in contact, but he lived with his dad, I lived with mine. So it was kind of a shocker. And at the end of the camp, um, we found out that they gave us all, the US military, I guess, had donated a bunch of Xbox One S's, and those were still like the big thing at the time. So every camper, like all 60 of us, got sent home with a brand new Xbox One.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Now I know you always loved that burn camp.
Yeah, it's definitely, after the first time of going, I kept going back. I went every year right up until COVID. And obviously, we couldn't have it during COVID, so they did like this computer camp and they sent out goodie bags to all the campers. Um,
Awesome, brother.
and yeah, you could hop on Zoom and go to camp. I didn't participate those years. But yeah, after our first camp back from COVID, we had record low numbers. I think we had like maybe 20 or 30 campers, if that. And a lot of the campers we did have were aged out. They just gave us one last camp because we had missed 2 or 3 camps because of COVID.
Do you know if they're a nonprofit?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. And what's the name of it again?
The Great Lakes Burn Camp for Burn Injured Children.
You guys going, anybody that can go support that. Great Lakes burn camp. Okay. It popped up when I started.
Yes.
GLBC for kids.
Yep, that's us.
Oh man, and that probably gave you something to look forward to every year where you could just go and be a
Oh,
kid
definitely.
and not
Twice
have
a
to
year.
worry about anything, and like people that really understood what it was.
Our motto is healing, or Jesus, I should know this. Um,
Oh, that's you right there.
yeah, I got put on there quite a bit. I'm in a few different pages. We go to like the testimonials.
You know this kid right here, Brian.
Which one?
The one above how you can help right here. Looks like
Middle, right? It's pretty zoomed.
right.
Yeah, I know him. That is, I want to say that's Baby Wyatt.
Baby Wyatt. Yeah, man. See, I would love to be able to.
So that's my cabin group actually right there. So on the back you got Maverick, you got
That's starting on the left.
starting on the right.
Oh, okay.
Maverick, Andrew, I forget, what's his name? I'm cool with him.
Is that one of the counselors, or is he got to burn?
In the middle with the red ski jacket
Yeah.
on, that's Dennis. He's a fellow counselor. He's also burned.
Okay.
We turned to staff. I want to say like a good 40% of our staff is actually returned campers, turn staff, and that's why it kind of makes it special.
Gotcha.
Like this, the group of kids my age, almost 75-80% of them that was like in my cabins growing up are all staff. They
Yeah.
all have positions within the camp, whether it's archery, arts and crafts, water sports.
Oh,
So
you're on the board now.
yes, I am.
Oh,
Just kind of getting into that. So after that first camp back is after COVID, they gave us one more summer camp, and we then transitioned into Outpost, and Outpost is just getting you ready to be junior staff. So it's different rotations at different positions, trying to figure out what you like to do, whether that's in the kitchen, cabin counselor, which is what I ended up choosing. And
man,
yeah,
that's a lot of people.
yep, it's a big family. Um,
That's awesome, dude.
it's a great sense of community. Like,
This kind of reminds me. I know at one point in time we talked about Brian Adams Foundation.
yeah,
Seems like you kind of already have it going there.
we had the what is it, the OLC or the nonprofit 501 or whatever.
Yeah.
We had the license for it, just never ended up going anywhere. I was kind of uninterested in being in camera at the time and
I understand.
didn't want to pursue that.
That's probably why it didn't get pursued.
Yeah. Um,
You
so
say you
yeah,
ain't. You say you ain't. I ain't going for it, bro.
I mean, after a few years of like going as a counselor, everyone's telling me like join the board. Like you would be the only burn survivor besides Kevin on the board. Like please.
Yes.
Like everyone kept floating it to me, and I'm like, I need to. And then I finally just sent the email, and like I knew from day one I'd be accepted onto it. They weren't gonna
How long you been on there?
since last summer camp, so going on a year.
Well, that's awesome that you can, be there and help do this for kids that come after.
Yep, and the big thing about it is we are donation based. Um, while it is free for campers, it does cost us. Um,
Do they get any grants or anything?
we do a lot of fundraising year round.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we fly kids in from all over. We don't make them pay out of pocket for anything. We offer supplies for campers, so if they need clothes, shoes,
Great, man.
hygiene things, bedding, we cover it all.
Okay, I see. Pancake breakfast, golf outing, summer camp, nozzle men poker run.
Yep, we actually just had one just recent. It's the Niles Burn Run.
Uh-huh.
That's a pretty cool fundraiser. So everyone signs up, and it's a big motorcycle ride out. So I want to say we had a couple hundred or almost 1,000 bikers last year. I'm waiting on the numbers for this year, but it was a really cool turnout. It's a cool event. They do like live music, 50/50 raffles. There's a bunch of food trucks in the parking lot, but we also host like a lunch for the bikers.
Now, is this just for the Michigan area or does people come from all around?
We fly kids in from all over the country.
Oh, okay.
Like we have a few from Florida. There's a couple from like Boston, New York.
I would love to be able to make some type of media to
Dude, we'd welcome it. I mean,
help to get it. Oh man, this is my heart, bro.
honestly, I'll bring it up to you again, but get you to come out next summer. I know it's short notice.
No, next summer, if yes, yep,
I mean, we need photographers anyway. Our main photographer runs water sports, like the water skiing and whatnot.
yep.
So I'm sure, especially with your following, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to.
Somebody, guys, photographer, hit up Brian. What's your email? The recovery for Brian.
Yep, you could do that one, or you could look up the Great Lakes Burn Camp on Facebook and
Yeah.
reach them directly. They'd be better able to assist you with whatever. Only
Gotcha.
thing is you have to, just because it's a state of Michigan thing, if you don't attend staff training in the summer, you aren't able to participate in the winter. And that rule even like applies for someone like me who's been there for years. You just have to attend that summer staff meeting. So like I'm leaving 2 days early, like I leave this Friday. I gotta figure out everything with that gas wise and whatnot, but fuck, I forgot where I'm live. um so yeah,
No, it's okay. So, what you gas stuff?
just gas and stuff I need for while I'm at camp. But
You said you started another GoFundMe, didn't you?
yep, I sure did. I texted you the link to that
You think I found?
right now.
I think I found it, buddy. So, is this it?
Yep, that is it.
Is this the last surgery you got right here?
Yep, that was last August. So you can see the cut up by my nose. They
Yeah.
actually did this one on non-burnt people too. It's like Botox or something. I forget.
Basically, yeah, cosmetic
Just
surgery.
plumps up the lips for like it's like a lip tuck for I guess the normal person. Um,
Dang, Brian, look at that chest, boy.
yeah, back then I fucking refused to anything else besides like chest and arms. My back days would always turn into arm days or chest days. But now I'm starting to like back.
Yes, I mean,
I haven't done too many updates.
I
I
see right here. Hey,
got a decent bio on there. I think the one update I did put out on there,
yeah,
I was having some car troubles. I just bought the car, my battery took a crap, and I have some suspension issues that I still need to take care of, but it's
all
been
right.
long.
You see it right here. Brian's dash continued dash burn dash care is the URL. Um.
I'll take that picture down.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Uh, you know,
On there.
just dad talk today, dude. I mean, I talk about exes all the time, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Just keep that one.
It's okay.
Oh, it's no big deal. I'm not worried
I,
about
I want to say something about that too. This boy right here is working like 50, 60 hours a week. You're doing security,
it. Yep, I do. Event security at the DeVos place in Van Andel.
and you're in your last semester of college.
Yep.
So when money
Of
comes,
undergrad anyway, I'll be going to grad school to pursue a physician's assistant degree. And the goal with that is to work in the trauma burn field.
originally, I know you was talking about burn surgeon when you was younger, but that's a lot of school.
Yeah, that's like another fucking 8 years. And to get in the plastic is even longer because you got to keep up with the techniques and whatnot.
I know that hasn't been easy for you either, though, because what you're staying on campus,
Yeah, I'm slightly off campus, so it comes at a
off
benefit.
campus.
I'm like not even a half a mile away from the school,
Yeah,
but I fucked up my sophomore year. I was living on campus in the student apartments, and I didn't realize I like wasn't paying attention to my email, and student housing had opened up for the following year,
yeah.
and it was just kind of unlucky. Um, I didn't see it, but I guess every housing, even the ones downtown, had filled up within like 30 minutes of it being open. But 2027 was like the largest incoming class. Let me see what the exact number. I want to say it was like 17,000.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Freshman class.
I know you're working like 50, 60 hours a week and working hard. So, but with working and everything with the fundraiser, if somebody does want to support Brian, what's that going towards?
Just help me in day to day life. Rent, food, clothing, help out with my car, have an animal, helps.
I
Just
get it.
oddball things that like you wouldn't really think about. Everything, something is always coming up in my life.
I get it. And I'm just glad to see you're out there busting your ass. Remind me, I want to reach out. There's nonprofits that help out with stuff like that with the burn survivors, ongoing care and expenses and stuff. I want to reach out for you.
I'd appreciate it. Help a ton. I mean, I hate asking for help because
I understand.
pride and an ego.
No, I
That's
understand.
it. But
You
it's
get
all
through that, you're going to be making the big bucks. That's when I'm going to be asking you to borrow $1.
yeah. It fucking starts out. It's a union position, and I believe I was talking to one of the higher ups at U of M, like during one of my surgery. He came in with my doctor because I wanted to ask him a few questions and interview him for a school project. And they start out at 130,000,
Whoa.
goes up like yearly. Like I think it tops out at 160 a year.
And it's what again specifically?
So a trauma burn physician's assistant.
Oh, I got you.
So they're a part of the union too. So
Okay.
great healthcare, dental, retirement plans. And like you had said, I've changed my major quite a few times. I knew I wanted to be in the medical field. I didn't know for what. So I originally started out my freshman year, I was thinking like, I want to go into psychology. Like I thought that was the greatest thing. Like psychology interests me. Like I've still taken 4 or 5 psychology classes just because I love psychology. It's just cool how the human mind works. So I was originally doing psychology, children's psychology with a minor in business. And then it switched to chiropractics because I also enjoy that. Like I can crack every bone in someone's body.
Really?
My friends take advantage of it quite a bit. I could do the hips, every bone in your spine. I could do the neck, the ring dingers, can do the shoulders,
Ring dingers?
elbows. Yeah, it's where like, have you ever seen like the Y strap videos? They'll put like a strap around your head,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
flat, they pull and it decompresses the spine.
I
But
used to go to the chiropractor all the time, but I listened to it and they said it
there's
doesn't
mixed
really.
opinions about it. They say it's not real medicine, but
I feel great when I get
oh,
the adjustment, but the next day
definitely.
it's
Where
back.
the scam part comes in is you got to come multiple times a week. That's where like the scam artist and why it's not real medicine because they're just trying to rack up their bills.
Yeah.
But chiropractic school is harder to get through than medical school is.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, you can look that up and verify that, but it's competitive as hell and just the coursework, like you got to know every single thing about the human body, anatomy, physiology,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like in depth. So like for a doctor, they just need like your basic anatomy, physiology. Um, Goes a little bit more in depth in grad school, but I've taken those classes, biochem, organic chemistry, all of that, which should not fucking be a thing. Those suck. Um, but yeah, just how fast paced chiropractic school is, and
Yeah.
it's hard work. So I was kind of unsure of myself. I find enjoyment in it, but the schooling and just how fast paced it is, I couldn't do that. So I mean, I could be a nurse right now. I could apply to nursing school, get in.
I didn't go. Well, I was going to say I didn't go to college at all. I went to Christian school. I was supposed to become a preacher, Brian. Could you imagine that?
So yeah,
You'd have had to know my past to find out like how crazy that is. It's like the spawn of Satan. Going to talk about Jesus. When I was younger, that was. Man, I had gotten in so much trouble. I just wanted to do something to give my family something to be proud of.
right.
It
But
lasted 6 months.
yeah, I was talking to a higher up, not a higher up. It's one of like the upper physician's assistants, like the manager or something. No, it was. I forget exactly how it went, but there was a physician's assistant in the room.
Yeah.
And one of the classes I was taking, the final project is you had to find someone in your future profession. It was allied health sciences.
Oh,
Allied,
you had to interview him?
yeah, you got to find someone in like your future position, and you interview them. You ask them a bunch of questions like how they like the job, what got them interested, just basic interview questions, how much they make, and then you got to do a bit of background research. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was still up in the air about it. And the physician's assistant was like, well, you should consider just being a PA. I'm like, what's the benefits of that? She's like, well, on top of not having to do 8 years of school, you do your undergrad and then you do 2 years, and they're needed worldwide. You can, the versatility of a PA is you can float around. So I could do rotation in the emergency department. I could go to trauma burn, go to the ICU. I can go to the clinic.
Versatile.
It's the only, like, one of the only positions in the medical field where you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, versatile. Has some
It's the
versatility.
same amount of money, and yeah, that kind of drew me to it. Last winter, wait, I forget exactly when. It's within the past year and a half, 2 years. I actually went to the hospital in Grand Rapids and was able to shadow for 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah.
And that's what really kind of, like, okay, I could do this. I like the thrill of it. I like the problem solving aspect of it. The one I shadowed was in the emergency department, and emergency department, there's always something going on, someone coming in.
You want to be there. You want to be where the action is.
I want to be in the trauma burn because it's just as intense, and I feel like I can make a difference there.
Oh yeah, you know how to talk to them,
Talk to them and
reassure them.
and you can, they'll be able to relate to me more.
Yeah, absolutely.
A
Hey,
normal VA that's never experienced it, and just telling them, oh, it's gonna be okay, it'll get better. Like, yeah, fucking right. I didn't believe that shit when I was being told it.
right, and that's what I said, dude. It's when it's somebody that's been there and done that, you tend to take it that much better. So that makes 100% sense. And I know you've always wanted to be in a position where you can give back.
Yeah,
And you're doing that with the burn camp too.
yeah, that's why I enjoy it so much. There's kids that look up to me, they'll talk to me, and like, I kind of get a little bit more flex in the burn camp because the first thing they tell you in staff training is don't pry on these kids, don't ask them what happened. If they're comfortable enough to tell you,
They'll tell you.
Yeah, but don't pry for information. And I feel a lot of the younger boys and even the younger girls having those burn survivors as their counselors, it makes the world of difference.
Oh, I can imagine, dude.
All of our staff is amazing. They're all great people with their hearts in the right place.
Well, you know, because you was one of the campers.
Yeah.
You know what
being able to talk to someone that's experienced it, it brings them a different level of healing. Like, you don't realize how much the camp offers because it just seems like this summer camp. But for us, it's so fucking important. I can't stress that enough. Being able to go to this camp and wear shorts. Like, that camp is where I first started wearing shorts and taking my shirt off.
You wouldn't do it anywhere else?
No, because I got there and I seen, oh, we're all burned. Like, some are worse than others, but like, you grow that bond and you're just close and
Yeah. Comfortable.
yeah. So it makes it that much easier to start getting that confidence back because you realize, like, at some point it just clicks, like, oh, I can take my shorts off, or I can take my pants off there, I can take this hoodie off and be myself. Well, it slowly starts, you slowly stop caring over time.
Just become yourself.
Yeah. There was actually a book written about the Great Lakes Burn Camp. An author teamed up and worked with us. Let me pull that up. It's actually a really good book. It's a kid's book. It's Riley Pladge's To Laugh, play, heal, and grow.
Laugh, play, heal, and grow.
I'm gonna place that in chat.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind, man, you can post the links to the other stuff that we pulled up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go on my phone and do that because it wants me to sign in, and I'm on.
It's all good, man.
Right now.
I think I found it. Cartoon Versation books. Riley pledges.
Gotcha. I'm in here now, so I'll be placing that in the chat.
Yeah. If you don't mind that.
Okay.
The links, all the links, Great Lakes Burn, your GoFundMe, and all that. If you don't mind.
Here's my GoFundMe.
Oh, okay.
Here's the Great Lakes Burn Camp book. Should I send the link to like purchase it? All that money comes to our camp.
Yeah. If there's somebody that would love to do that,
it's a pretty cool book.
It's supporting a great cause.
It's definitely like a kid's book, but it's still like a good read.
Yeah.
All proceeds come to us, and I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. Like I want to cry right now just thinking how this camp has changed my life. We also have like a scholarship program for burn survivor or like campers. Like you have to attend a camp or have gone to a fundraiser, but they give $2,000 a semester for up to 4 years for campers that are pursuing secondary education, whether that be trade school or college. Can't speak too much on it, but I believe I'm trying to come up with the broader, what am I thinking of?
It's all right.
Broader circumstances for that grant.
Yeah.
Like we have a few people that are like staff that had dropped out and didn't get like their high school diploma. So I'm trying to work it in there to where we can expand that to where we'll help you get your GED.
Oh,
and stuff like that, just secondary help.
Yeah.
So if any of you like or find interest, sorry, I'm choked up. Find interest, you can read about us. We're on all social medias, including TikTok. We got some testimonials on our Facebook camp. I have one on there. My brother has one, as well as a bunch of other campers that's talking about camp. Are you able to screen share off Facebook? Like onto your...
Yeah, I could have swore.
Are you signed into Facebook, I guess?
Laugh, play, heal, and grow. I think.
I'm gonna have you screen share a testimonial.
Okay.
If that's fine with you.
Yeah. Actually,
we're not losing people. We got quite a few people still watching us.
If you will, put it to me in the private chat, Brian.
Gotcha.
And I'll just copy it and put it over here.
That might take me a sec.
The link.
Gotcha. Well, I'm doing it on my phone. This is like a iMac that's just in our apartment building for everyone to use.
Oh, okay.
My MacBook got stolen, sadly.
Yeah, that's what you was telling me about. How long ago was that your MacBook got stolen? Just happened, right?
Just within the past couple weeks. Could you just go to on your Facebook and search up Great Lakes Burn Camp for Kids? You'll go to their page and maybe even YouTube. I don't know if you can.
So I tried, and I'm not signed into it right yet. I went to sign in.
I don't even think you'll have to sign into Facebook. You could just search like Great Lakes Burn Camp Facebook on Google, and it'll pop up.
Well, yeah, that's what I tried doing, and it was trying to make me. Wait, let me see if I can do it again.
I wish. Are you on your MacBook or are you on your gaming PC?
No, hold up. I'm in here this time. Let me hold on 1 second.
If you just go to the real section, you'll see like our camp video, which is.
I'm on my 2019 Mac that is not wanting to run the podcast anymore, and going to break my heart if I have to do PC.
Hi, my name is Chloe, and one of my
Well, if I text you something, will you be able to get the link?
I got it right here, Brian.
Okay, so go to the Reels.
Reels.
Or,
Okay.
yep, and we can watch Chloe's video. So the second column down.
Uh,
Nope, down one. Up. The second video down on the left. Yep.
this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Could watch this. I believe it's a show.
Hi, my name's Chloe, and one of my counselors has texted me and asked me if I could share how GLBC has affected my life. Back in 2014, I was in a house fire that caused 65% of my body to be burnt. I started going to camp in 2016. U of M's nurses had mentioned it to me. I was really scared to go the first time, super duper nervous, but my parents kind of like made me go anyway, which I don't regret 1000%. Within the first 3-4 hours, I had made 3-4 friends. I still talk to these people to this day. It's been 7 years. I go visit them. It feels like they understand me more than other people could because they don't get the staring feeling. Like I go out in public and to this day I'm going to get 4, 5, 6 people staring at me. Some people will say some really harsh things and it'll lower your confidence, but at camp it teaches you to be outgoing and just to know that there's so many other people that are like you and you're not alone in this. Camp has made me who I am today. I am actually super scared to think if I look back and I didn't go to camp, I don't know if I would be who I am right now. I am a super confident person. I know that for a fact. But I would give all my credit to Burn Camp for that. And if you are thinking about going to camp or you're scared to or any sort of thing, don't be. It's going to be the most amazing experience. It's the most amazing camp. And just do it. Hi, my name's Chloe.
Dude, I just thought about something. So,
There's one more I'd like to share if we got.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to screen share again.
Yep. I'm bringing it right back up. But I was just thinking, like, so you went to burn camp every year since I've known you, right?
Yep. Besides those couple COVID camps, but every year it's been running. I missed one summer camp, and it was the right before I was moving to college.
But you had
But I still
only
went out for the day, and
you had only did one camp when I met you. So, and I remember like what that did with your confidence and everything.
So I had done one. When I met you, I was going on my 5th camp because it was right before.
Oh, okay.
So I had just came. That was my 4th camp this summer, and then my 5th was. So
They did more than one a year?
they do 2 a year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, we have a summer camp that's 7 days and usually is like the beginning of August. And then we have another in February. Like usually it works out to be Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's a 3-day camp. So we take them all up to the Black Lake UAW. And the Black Lake UAW, it's right on a big lake, man-made lake, and it's where the Union goes. So it's a big hotel campus. We do all sorts of things, not jet skiing, snowmobiling, side-by-sides, ice fishing. We do a fireworks show every year, like every camp.
Oh,
We have a dance. In the summer, we got a carnival, arts and crafts.
okay. I thought it was like a once
Oh no, it's 2 times a year, and that's why like I keep stressing like the urgency of.
I just tell you guys this. I would have never, ever, ever in my life, you would have not been able to tell me in 2019 that in 2026 I'd be sitting here with Brian and we're on a 3.5 hour podcast. No way.
I was scared going into it.
Live podcast.
So if you can find this video on
Yep.
here,
Let me find
pull
it.
up that one. That kind of shows.
Is it 6,000 views?
Yep.
Yep. I see it. Give me a second, but I would have never.
I urge all of you, if you find this interesting and want to see a little bit more about camp, there's quite a few longer term videos. We got our camp highlights. We make a big slideshow every year. And we watch that. But our camp song is God Bless the USA. It's our final song. We do it every year at the end of the dance. We all circle up, and we could watch that one. We'll just play a few seconds of this one.
Okay. Mm, I
Yeah, I
gotta
don't.
be careful,
Yeah,
Brian. The
you're
cop-
good. You can get off that one. I just realized that. That's why I said just a few
I
seconds.
didn't think about it, but like I get it. Ah, I hate that it's that way. You should be able to do stuff like that. But
And let me find it real quick. I think you can. So this is D. She actually wrote a book. You don't gotta play that one if you don't want to.
yeah,
There's
there.
no music, but
I didn't know this. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet, but Rogan, I was listening to him not long ago. He said it's got so bad that if you just sing the song now, it don't even have to be the song itself. You sing the lyrics, they're hitting you. I'm like, are you kidding me?
so there's this one. We can watch one more testimonial and then we can move on. I know we should probably wrap up soon.
No, dude, I told you it's
I
it's
mean,
up to you. I actually am. I'm
I
loving
figure
the fact that you're comfortable with it.
I just know I can keep going. I gotta stay up all night. I work at 6:45 a.m. and I screwed myself by sleeping all day. That's another reason I didn't want to sleep all day.
I'd go all the way with you. The only problem is now my inner fat boy's coming out.
Well, after we finish up this, maybe we can just hop on backstage again or FaceTime or something after you eat. But yeah, let's watch. Let me see.
Which one? You tell me, bub.
Trying to find a good one.
What about this? You
What
look
is-
like you got one where they're skiing.
Yeah, that's a good one. The water skiing.
Yeah. You want to do that one?
Yeah, it's a 36-second clip.
All right, let me pull that up.
I think this is copyright-free music, I believe.
Yeah, it's anything that you do at the camp. The good thing now is, so when I was talking about some of the things content creators have to think about, AI music.
Damn. You could watch that video. Just mute it, actually, if you can.
All right, which one is it?
It'll be the one of between the banana boat and the girl in red.
Okay.
It's a water ski clip.
The banana boat.
Right there. Right next to it. The water skiing one.
You want me to do this one?
Yeah, that's kind of like a demonstration. We do like pranks every year. There's a big prank war at the last night of camp. So
Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. What?
So there's sometimes
Haley.
Oh.
There it is. It's like we do all types of events. Like last year we had this company come out and they have these wireless laser tag guns.
It looks beautiful out there too, man. How
Dude,
much
it's
land
so
do they
nice.
have?
It's miles and miles of land. It's
Miles?
miles and miles. Like it's a big place. It's pretty like campground in Kalamazoo.
Is this the only camp they run?
No, they do tons of other camps.
Oh, okay. So it's just a campground altogether.
So back out of this one.
Okay.
I wish I had some control or like you could see my mouse or anything.
I can just start scrolling through them.
Press the X real quick. There was one more. That's gonna be like a 10-minute video. Scroll up.
Mm-hmm.
Up. Could watch a few seconds of the banana boat one.
Okay.
Mute it. That's definitely copyrighted music. So this is just like our camp slideshow. We have all the campers brought in. We meet up at the Wings Stadium, which is like a hockey team.
Yeah.
We'll meet up there and then we'll bring all the kids, the campers, to the camp on fire trucks. So it's a big parade. So they're either in a cop car, a fire truck, an ambulance. That's how we get all our campers to the camp. And in winter, after they get off the charter bus, we get settled in. We do pretty much the same thing, but we'll be a bunch of fire trucks, cop cars, all the same thing. There's like horse cops. They'll all line up and let the campers get in. They'll take them on a ride. They let them control the horns, all types of things. So it's not. What were you gonna say?
I was just wondering, David Rothenberg. That's the name of him. I wonder if he is still alive.
What'd you say?
David Rothenberg. Have you ever heard of him?
David, why does that sound familiar?
He is the one that I was I've told you about him before. I loved watching that movie when I was a kid.
Oh,
They made a movie about him. I could see him. Dave. Oh, well, man. Says he was
he
he died in 2018.
Yeah, he does look familiar. I forget where I've seen his pictures.
There was a movie that was made in the 80s, and like I remember watching it. It had the guy from what is it? Would been Wonder Years. The dad from it was in there.
Wonder Years. Is that who the book like Wonder was made after?
No. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see kind of the resemblance. No,
it's been the movie of Wonder.
No, Dave. This would have been Dave as a kid, right here, Brian.
Gotcha. We actually have a kid that looks similar to him. Father
set him on fire in Orange County in 1983. Dies at 42. I didn't know he had died.
I wish I could talk about some of the stories because we got kids from all different types of backgrounds.
You know what though, man? I would, if any of those kids ever got interested in doing what you're doing right now with me, even if to make them feel comfortable, they wanted to come on here and it's not going live, just to sit on here and do like we're doing right now.
My buddy Caleb that goes to camp with me, he's like, I feel like you'd like him a lot. He's big in music, rock and roll, fucking long hair, plays guitar constantly.
Sounds like my type of guy, dude.
I feel like you guys, that'd be a good interview.
We got to get you into some of that heavy metal.
Yeah, I've never been able to get into that or like screamo or anything. Like I like country, but
I like some country, man. I'm into that.
Learning how to. I could see myself wanting to learn how to play like rock songs on guitar, but I dislike rock or anything, but it's just not my favorite thing.
Oh no. Well, I mean, growing up it was what was yeah. We had MTV too. And I mean the 90s, grunge and Nirvana and everything, but I also had the siblings that were older than me, so I had that Gen X era. Two bands that did it for me: Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith, bro. I was a redneck until that happened. So blame it on them. When I heard "Sweet Child of Mine" the first time, I was like, I got to learn how to play that. But yeah, dude, that fat boy in me, that stomach's growling. I gotta go. I gotta go. But no, let me make sure though. Is there anything that you ever wanted to say about your story that we haven't got to talk about?
So, do we get? Do you want to paste that GoFundMe link? I don't think it posted. I don't see it.
Did it not put in the?
I don't see it on my side. If you posted it, it might appear in all.
Okay. Give me a second. I gotta go find it again.
If any donations did come in, it would be used to get me to camp. Gas. I need an oil change bad. My car burns oil like crazy.
How many miles your car got on it?
How many miles does it have? It's 272 and a Subaru Outback.
Now you know why I was asking how many miles when I heard you say burning oil.
Yeah, it's rough. So yeah, gas, stuff I need throughout the week, like extra hygiene stuff. Um, Gotta buy bedding just because I don't like taking away resources from the other kids. Um,
Oh, you have to bring your own bedding.
they'd provide it if I didn't, but I just don't like taking from them if I don't have to.
That's what I
Like,
gotta say. I know that's not something that I've never really even heard you ask. It was people doing it for you. So again, guys, the boy works hard. I know he's that camp means a lot to him, and you want to be there to do it for other people. So that's it. Down at the bottom of the thing, GoFundMe, Brian's continued care.
it
And
just,
when's the last time the recovery? I know you got there's a group on Facebook, Recovery for the number for
yeah,
Brian. And I think it's just one word, Recovery for Brian.
yeah.
That's what pulled up for me on GoFundMe. Have you done any updates in there?
I haven't done one recently. I'm gonna definitely share this to the group. I didn't think about doing that before we went live.
You know what I thought about doing for you, Brian? So the people that just followed your story and that they don't
Yeah,
have to worry, they don't have to worry about listening to me for however many minutes. I'll clip your part and make it its own video.
that'd be cool. That'd be a nice update and give some people that don't really know much about the story.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, I've never heard you cover it like you did tonight.
I haven't, besides that paper I wrote. Yeah, I don't like. I'll tell people the full story in person, like especially at work. Naturally, people will like stare at me for a bit, and then sometimes they get the courage to come up and ask, like, "Hey, don't mean to bother you, but what happened if you don't mind sharing?" And I'll typically go into that little rant.
Well, that's a great little addition right there too. Like, how do you feel about people coming up and talking to you? Do you encourage it, and how would you encourage them to do it?
See, I'd rather you come up and just talk to me rather than just sit there and stare. Um, See, what I do for kids is a lot of kids, especially younger ones. They're curious. They'll sit there and stare. Younger me, like when I was a shithead teenager, I'd growl at the little kids.
Uh, you told me a funny story about like what you did when you first went back to school and would let people touch your skin.
Oh yeah, I'd let them like, they'd be like, they'd ask questions, and I'd be like, "Oh, you can touch it," and then they'd like touch my arm or like my chest or something, and I'd like scream like I was in pain just to fuck with them, and they'd feel so bad. But where was I going with that? I brought up.
I was talking about like little kids, you'd growl at them, and like,
Oh yeah.
when people would stare.
So nowadays, I tend to like if I see a little kid staring and he's with his parents, I'll walk up to the parents and like, "Hey, I noticed your son was staring. Would you like me to talk to him and explain it a little bit and use it as discouragement to stay away from fire and playing with lighters and whatnot?" And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, "I'd love that. I appreciate it."
Oh, that's cool, man.
But then there's also like that 1 times out of 10 where the parents is like kind of a dickhead, like kind of take
Everywhere.
them approaching them about their child, which I
Yeah.
don't get. Like I get, it's a kid, he's curious. I'd probably stare too. Hell, I'm guilty of staring now. Like not in a weird way, just
You talking about that blonde reporter again?
what? Oh, I'm a sucker for redheads, blondes too, but
I think I put it on there. I got that picture from Michigan where I took you to Hooters. Ryan loved that.
embarrassed the shit out of me.
You know you liked it. You looked at that picture so many times after we left.
Remember, I wrote my number down on a napkin as a second.
I forgot about it.
You guys, fucking, who was it? Lakey?
Lackey.
Lakey, yeah. He's like, write your number and your room number down.
Did you get a call back?
No,
Oh, hey,
I didn't get a knock on my door either.
hey, if you don't try, you don't know, bro. That's confident.
Shoot or shoot.
I love to see this. I mean, I'd say the first time I got to meet him in person, I remember going up to you and talking to you like you were like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, that tends
That
to.
happened a lot to you?
Yes and no. I just hate when people approach me with like the "oh poor you" attitude.
Treat you different.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather you just come up to me and have a conversation. I don't like the pity,
Yeah,
like the "oh, I'm so sorry for you." It just makes me uncomfortable.
that's what Jennifer, the one I was telling you about with the cerebral palsy, was saying. Like the whole reason I met her in Vegas, she travels from Canada to Vegas like 3 times a year to train with the UFC.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I thought she was a fighter when they were first telling me her story. And then I heard she was 53 and I was like, what? I was like, so why is she training with the UFC? She was like, I hate people pitying me.
Yeah.
Like they get out there like, come on, and treat me like one of the fighters. I was like, oh, it made me think about that first time meeting you. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I think you like farted and like flicked me off. I was so got off with, I got to raise money for this kid. And they're like, doing this, you know? And I was like, hold up.
I guess I didn't think about this. 1 second. I do have some closing things to say.
Okay. So he's a 16-year-old boy. And it clicked with me. I never did it again.
I have a link tree.
You do?
Yeah, that I made for like just options to donate. I'm not trying to just gives different options for anyone interested. But I do have some things I wanted to thank you for as well and touch on a few things.
Okay, go ahead, bud.
Some things in chat that I didn't read too much into it, but all right, I'm gonna text this to you and have you paste it. I believe you'd want to avoid that top GoFundMe link, as that's the one I don't have access to.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, that's the wrong one.
I'll have to you'll have to give me a second on that, my man.
Oh yeah, no worries. I guess closing things. I'll address chat first. Thank you guys for all of your supportive and kind comments. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Guess the best way to address this other one, because it kind of just pisses me off, to be quite frank. The people talking shit in chat about Eric don't know this man, don't know his character. You don't know the situation of what happened behind the scenes, so I'd ask you to kindly refrain from talking about said situations. If you actually do some research into the situation, you'd realize that's not who he is. He's not doing the things that he's being slandered about. He's nothing but a loving and caring person. I mean, you just heard me. I wouldn't have sat on here for almost 4 hours talking with him if he wasn't a good, kind-hearted person that I'm saying he is. I don't have many people I keep close to me, but Eric's definitely one throughout the past years I've kept around and kept in contact with because he is different. Never exploited anyone or tried to make $1 off anyone's name. And Well, I guess, yeah, he has, but it all goes to the person, what he's saying it's going for. Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't read too much of the comments. I'm kind of scrolling through,
Dude,
but I know
I,
you said to stay away from it and avoid it, but
I don't even
that
look.
is,
It sucks because I used to pull the comments up and like interact with the audience.
I mean, I just kind of checked them just because I want to see if there's anything people were mentioning that I should talk about or they had any questions about.
That's the
But
part that sucks. That's the people that ruin it. At the same time,
I mean, if you guys have any questions, I am looking for a few seconds. There was only one comment I seen that was bad, and I mean, it sucks. This a
dude,
fucking amazing person. He's dedicated the last, what, 7 years of his life to this.
that's why I'm ready to roll
He
on.
doesn't deserve the hate or rude and snide comments.
Brian,
He's doing the best he can with the cards he was dealt. I would just say refrain from talking about situations you don't know the full story on, and I'll leave it at that. But thank you, Eric, for all you've done.
I appreciate it. I'll be honest with you, and I've told people this. There was a reason I told them on that last episode I ain't answering it no more. I think, my opinion, and I've checked out with everything I've said so far, and that's what pisses some people off. There was more people with their hands in the pot that I truly believe than people know. And the ones that keep showing up to do that, they're the ones that need a narrative out there. So
Just
keep in mind the sort of
can't go too much into it, but I don't know. This man is a fucking great human being with not an ounce of negativity in his soul, and he has every right to act that way, given the hand he was dealt, the situations he's had to face alone. Like, I've seen it tear him down, and no one should have to go through that, especially someone that's done nothing but help people.
yeah, and it's not.
Something
It wasn't just me, man. It was my wife.
his family is affected by this as well. I mean, you guys see one post on Facebook, TikTok, whatever, just take that narrative and run with it. Use your context clues on that one. I mean, I'm hearing stuff about me. Not even in the mix. Why is my name being brought up to try to drag this man down when all he's done is sat here and tried to help me?
Your name was brought up.
Yeah, I seen some posts saying you were trying to exploit me, and
They came to me.
came to him, and like he said, from the moment he fucking seen me on camera that first time, he didn't give up. Sleepless nights, fucking paid out of his pocket to make sure we were good when we came down to Georgia. It's just unnecessary, and he doesn't deserve it.
I appreciate it, but I ain't worried about him. I'm worried.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. I just happened to see the one comment that kind of pissed me off. I wish you well, and I hope to join you on this next chapter of your podcasting journey.
I just want to enjoy it. You know, the thing is, I never wanted to get into politics. Once I got into politics, that's when it was like a big load got put on me. You're having to carry this movement forward, and people are wanting you to go to all these functions and this state. I'm just a regular dad, man. Like, I'll do it, and this is what I do for a living. I work 24/7, and if you make any money, like, you're damned. And it's like, guys, I'm not trying to get rich. I just want to be able to pay my bills. But at the same time,
It's
you
like,
see what I'm doing, and it's anytime it's got anything to do with money on the internet, people are just going to question your
yeah,
intentions. And it's like, I didn't want to be just a content creator going out there making whatever. I wanted to do content that helped other people.
right. I mean, you can't win. I mean, if you're not
No.
going out to these political events and fundraising, you're a bad guy. But if you are and you're asking for help,
Well,
because
that
not everyone has hundreds of thousands that they can just, oh, let me go here, 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 and here without help.
I would never be able to do that now. No way. COVID, dude, the $20 flights. Just I think there was somebody that wanted me to go to Vegas. So the flights to Vegas, there's no way. But during COVID, $20.
Yeah,
And so we was able to do it, and that was coming out of my pocket. I'm glad I got to go around. I got to learn a lot. But anytime you feel like or that you're doing this for a cause, people are gonna question your motives.
yeah. There's always someone somewhere that's not. They're always gonna disagree.
They're,
Perfect man. There's not much you can do besides just keep your head on straight. You know the type of person you are. I know the type of person you are. Your wife, your family,
you don't respond to them.
you, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. You know, in your heart, who you are.
I'd say this: if they hated me so bad, and it was all if they believed that, why in the world do you come and follow everything I do? That's what you call an idiot sandwich. You ever heard that with Gordon Ramsay? Yeah. Go get the 2 pieces of bread. Thank you. The,
I mean, they clearly have
uh,
I said they have those notifications on to know you went live. So,
dude, again, it's what I said. It's
I didn't mean to go on this whole tangent, but definitely irritates me seeing your name jacked through the mud for.
it's them. It is what it is, dude. I did what I did to protect people.
Yep. Well, I guess that'd be a wrap. Thank you guys for
Yes.
tuning in. Thank you, Eric, for having me. Honored to be this last episode.
Yeah, dude. I swear, it's right at the 4-hour mark now. I never in a million years would have thought you'd have done that. So I'm guessing you was pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was definitely less talkative at the start of it, but eased into it.
Hey, man. We'll have to get you on the new one so we can talk about stuff other than those stories.
Yeah,
Do something we have fun with.
yeah.
All right, man. Everybody, thank you so much. I had a few other things I wanted to say. I'll make a little quick video tomorrow, and then I will be back again soon. And yeah, I got some stuff I wanted to talk about. I've been wanting to do for years. I'm ready to do some stuff that makes me happy. I don't want to be going back on that painful time much anymore. So. All right, Brian. Happy birthday to you, my man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You were in the beginning, and you were with me at the end.
Yep, honored to be so.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen.